It was an ambush.
How many did you save?
Just like a dream.
You did the only thing you could do. And you lost.
Like a dream.
Look, we're still in this thing.
The day you walked away.
But we have no idea what we're dealing with.
Unfortunate.
Things are getting worse around here, aren't they?
Boyd, we're out of food.
Too many things are changing. Yeah. I have to remember.
Remember what?
What's missing?
Here is rigged. Why can't they leave us alone?
No matter what this place throws at us, we're gonna find our way home.
Everybody just talks about how afraid they are of dying. Well, I don't think that's the worst thing that can happen to you here.
Hello?
Like a dream.
You looking for these?
Into my life.
You can't save them all.
But things are really how they seem.
Aren't Cooey.
Greetings, kiddies. Did you miss me while I was away? But don't worry, I've been working on my aim, and I won't miss this time. Any sleigh, I'm back, plague rats, and not a second too soon. It seems that while old Crypt Keeper was away, you boils and ghouls forgot what a scary good time is all about. So, as a scary reminder, I'm going to show you how we used to do it back in the day. To remember all the swingin' New Fears parties I used to throw. We can count down to the goo year together. And who knows, maybe before the night is through, you'll get lucky and meet the ghoul of your screams. So strap yourselves in for the long haul. And at midnight, New Year's Shockin' Eve.
And welcome one, welcome all to the yearly New Year's Eve bash. Only this year we are doing it with a Fromville and a horror twist to it. And I think we got some really fun things planned for this evening. I actually put a lot of work into this stream. Usually we kind of wing it, go in and just rely on the awesome conversations that we usually have with all the awesome people that show up in the chat. But tonight we put a little bit of effort into this one. We got some really fun, hopefully fun activities planned. We got some Fromville trivia that we're going to be diving into, some easy questions, and some hard questions that only the most die-hard fans of From will know. And of course, we are going to be ranking our Fromville monsters this evening. Tonight, we find out once and for all who is the best monster in all of Fromville. Is it Smiley? Is it Granny? Is it the nurse monster? Who will reign supreme this evening? And of course, all of the other shenanigans that we are going to be getting into this evening as well. So welcome one, welcome all. So glad to have each and every one of you here for our annual New Year's Eve bash. And I look forward to diving into some of this madness this evening. Ravener, welcome back, my friend. Great to have you. You ready for the New Year's Eve Fromville style bash?
Now I've already covered the canvas with liquid white. It's wet and slick, ready to go, and I hope you are too. So let's go up here and do it.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm ready for it. Yeah. I always like New Year's Eve. It's always like Fallujah here in Albuquerque. But I got my tile roof. My tile roof deflects most bullets, so yeah, I should be here for the duration.
Nice. That is good to hear. That is good to hear. You got to be able to dodge them bullets every once in a while, or at the very least, block a few of them. You don't want them all hitting you. Don't want them all hitting you.
Yeah, you'd think with the price of ammo, there's got to be a point at which fireworks actually do become cheaper, but some people just, they take the shortcuts. Yeah, but we're still several hours away, like 4.5 hours away from me. So I'm a couple hours behind you. Yeah.
True. That's right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about these pesky time zones that we're dealing with here, not just here in the States, but all around the world. I, of course, am just a few hours away from officially being the new year. It is 9:30 p.m. Eastern here, and we got 2.5 hours to kill until that ball drops. So we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to hang out with all of these fine folk that show up in the chat. And again, big thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out with us this evening. I know New Year's Eve isn't the most ideal time to catch a live stream, so very much appreciate anyone and everyone who shows up this evening. And absolutely, Hollywood Pineapple, ready for the 2025 countdown to season 4 in 2026. Yeah, looks like we're going to have 2 New Year's Eve bashes before we get from season 4. We got the 2025 New Year's Eve bash this evening. And then later on, a year from now, we'll have another New Year's Eve bash with hopefully from season 4 not long after that. So yeah, I didn't even realize that. We got 2 New Year's Eves to get through before we see from season 4. That is diabolical.
It's going to be brutal.
Diabolical.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty brutal. I'm hoping that if they do all the good filming in 2025, get it all nice and ready, it'll be early in 2026. I hope. The earlier the better. I'd rather be watching the episodes while it's snowing. Rather than have it be snowing in Nova Scotia and not have them able to film and whatnot. So, I don't know though, man. It is going to be a long time. The one bright side is I think you were posting about Squid Game is going to have a much accelerated filming schedule, and they were planning to get season 3 out in 2025, just a few months down the road from here.
That is right. They've actually already they have already finished filming season 3 of Squid Game. It's already done filming. I imagine they're probably wrapping up post-production right now and all of the editing and whatnot. But yes, we got a awesome confirmation from the creator of Squid Game themselves, stating that originally season 3 of Squid Game was going to be dropping in winter of 2025, but they moved that up to summer or fall, the latest. So anybody who is enjoying Squid Game season 2, as Ravener just mentioned, we have a much shorter wait for season 3, just a few months away now, really. I mean, we could have season 3 of Squid Game 6-7 months from now, maybe at most. So that is great. If only more series could kind of take a page out of Squid Game's book and get these series out a little bit faster, maybe film multiple seasons at a time like Squid Game did. I think it would be very beneficial, and if nothing else, it would show the appreciation for the fan base that make these shows popular. So yeah, that'll be fun. Squid Game season 3 coming very soon, ladies and gents. I'm actually watching season 2 right now. I'm around a little more than halfway through season 2, and I'm enjoying it. I got to say, it's for the most part, it's holding up to the quality that season 1 put forth, without kind of rehashing all of the same old plot points. So I'm impressed. I'm enjoying Squid Game season 2 so far. It's been good.
Yeah, you digging the all-in-one, all episodes at one time binge format?
No, not
Not
at
digging
all.
that?
I just really don't like the binge format for me personally. Maybe it's just the YouTuber in me that, because I really want to review Squid Game for the channel, but it's so difficult to review a show that drops all of their episodes at once. Because then it's like, what do I do? Do I review 2 episodes at a time? Do I review the entire season in one video? Because you never know who is watching what. When they drop all of the episodes at once, you have some people that watch them all within a day or two. You have other people like me who maybe watch one every other day or so and kind of savor it. So it's really tough to know how to, from a YouTube standpoint, to kind of dive into these shows and review them when they drop all of the episodes at once. But I'm going to give it a shot. That's why I've kind of avoided reviewing shows that drop all of their episodes at once up until this point. But I'm enjoying Squid Game, and I figured I might as well just give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen, right? So yeah, I will get my Squid Game review out this week. I think I might separate it into 2 or 3 different videos, where maybe I'll do the first 3 episodes in one video, the next 3 episodes in another video, and the finale in a final video. I'll probably do it like that, because there are only 7 episodes in season 2. But yeah, it's been a good season so far. I'm enjoying it. It definitely kind of held up.
Yeah, I got up to like I was telling you before the show. I got to episode 4, and suddenly the subtitles on didn't work, and I was like, "What? How does it happen where you download it all from one place, all of it in the exact same format? The first 3 episodes it's fine, and then the 4th it's all just squares, and that's why I have to get another set,
Yeah.
and watch it that way to continue on." And man, being I was always almost wondering if they have a dubbed version, because
I'm sure they will.
I'm spoiled in that I I do a lot of other stuff. Like I'll be eating, or I'll be mucking around on the phone and not paying 100% attention. Well, the thing is, man, on a subtitled show, you got to pay attention. You're reading the show, and it's like, so it definitely takes that little extra level of focus. And so I don't always get around, even though it's an easily accessible format in the binge format, to be able to just bang out episode after episode. It does take, I really have to square off blocks of time and know, okay, well, I really have to sit here and focus and pay attention. I can't be distracted by other things. I can't be distracted by calls and texts, or I can't be playing my little phone game or anything, and then and also try to understand what's going on. It's not one of those where you can just perk up when you hear some excitement happening or something going on. But yeah, by episode 4, I think they'd only gone through one game. They'd gone through the red light, green light, it was neat to see that come back and not have it be completely derivative. But pretty interesting. Yeah. Pretty interesting so far. If I've gotten through, I didn't know it was only 7 episodes. So if I'm already at number 4, I think I'll probably see it through to the end, and it'll be interesting to see how are they going to keep it fresh for season 3 so quickly. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
A show like Squid Game, I was wondering how season 2 would even, like, how are they even going to do a season 2? Season 1 works so well because it was kind of a very self-contained story where you have the game, you have the beginning, middle, and the ending of the game. But then, like, how do you set that up to do another game in the second season and make it as riveting as the first season was, when you already kind of know some of the games that they're going to be playing and you kind of know the format. But again, they've pulled it off for the most part. I haven't finished the season yet, but very much enjoying it so far, and I hope everybody else is as well. Anybody who has not watched Squid Game yet, definitely check that one out. I know we're kind of hurting for really good series to dive into right now while we wait for Severance to come around and then Yellow Jackets. But Squid Game is a good one to kind of fill the void in the meantime. But let's see who we got in this awesome chat with us this evening on this Fromville New Year's Eve. And again, welcome to everybody. Big thank you to everybody who is hanging out with us this evening. We've got the Rogue Prince in the house. Can't think of a better way to spend the new year than in Fromville. Absolutely. I mean, what can you say? I mean, Fromville's got everything you could possibly want in a New Year setting. You know, blood, death, mayhem, all of it. All of it, all of it, all of it. Ready for 2025, countdown to season 4 in 2026, says Hollywood Pineapple. Yes, indeed. And again, looks like we are going to have not one, but 2 New Year's Eves before we get to season 4. This time next year, when we are celebrating our 2025-2026 New Year's Eve bash. Hopefully season 4 will be not long around the corner at that point. Hopefully it'll be pretty early in 2026. We got Kiwi in the house. What is up, Kiwi? Good to see you as well, my friend. We got Bill D in the building. What is up, Bill D? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Got KC in the house. Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. Happy New Year's Eve to you as well. Hope everybody is enjoying their holiday season. Hopefully you guys have all had time to hang out with friends, family, the whole shebang, whatever it is that you like to do during the holiday season. I hope all of you are enjoying it. All in Fromville, get inside, ring the bell, Boyd. Yes, ring that bell. You got to ring that bell. You got to ring that bell. It is vital. It's vital to ring that bell. And we are going to be ringing some bells throughout the evening as well as we dive into quite a few fun things that we have planned. Again, we are definitely going to be diving into some Fromville style trivia. And again, the trivia questions that we have picked out, Ravener and I picked out some pretty interesting Fromville style, Fromville themed trivia questions. Some of them are a little bit more on the easy side, and some of them are a little bit more on the advanced side, where only the most die-hard From fans will probably know. And hopefully everybody is on the honor system tonight and not looking up the answers. It's still up at home, people. But I trust everybody here. We have nothing but good integrity people that hang out in these parts. So I have all the faith in the world in this awesome chat. We got Choose a Channel Name. What is up, Choose a Channel Name? Good to see you as well. We got Frenchie Maple in the house. What is up, Frenchie Maple? Hello. Happy New Year. Soon-ish. Yes, Happy New Year soon, everyone. Soon. It's very soon. It is coming. I mean, I know we all have a little bit of a different time period in terms of when our New Year's Eve is going to hit, or our New Year's is going to hit. Mine is just over 2 hours away now. But then again, I know not everybody is on East Coast time, but we are going to celebrate nonetheless. We got Catherine Eli Saunders in the house. What is up, Catherine? Welcome to see you. Good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me scroll down here a little bit more. We got Lily DeValley in the house. What is up, Lily? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you are enjoying your New Year's Eve as well, up in Alaska. The return of Ravener. Welcome back. Yes, Ravener is back. He is as good as ever. And we're going to have some fun tonight. We are going to have some fun. We got Nikisha Moore in the house. What is up, Nikisha? Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year's. A Happy New Year's to you as well. Who's in my room? What is up? Who's in my room? I don't know. Who's in your room? That's a big question. You got to figure that out. If there's someone lurking around in that room of yours, get out the pepper spray, get out the bat, get out something, and shoo them away. We know Victor had that problem when he came back to Colony House. Who was in his room? I mean, we know it was Jade stealing the violin, but poor Victor had that same problem. We got Bill D in the house. What is up, Bill D? Good to see you, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And yes, Hollywood Pineapple Ravener survived the box. The first person in history that has actually survived a night in the box. So it's very impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, night in the box, and then the monsters are the ones strewn all about. Amazing.
Indeed, indeed. We got David in the house. What is up, David? My New Year's happened last night. It's already New Year's. Down under, awesome. However, remember they changed the calendar to hide the secret. Okay, yeah, that's right. I know. There was also Happy Cat in the Discord also had their New Year's yesterday as well. All of our Australian brethren and all of our New Zealand peeps, all of our Kiwis. They all are already in the new year. They're in the future. They are well into the future. So welcome. I hope you are enjoying your new year already, David. Hopefully it is a festive one. Hopefully everybody has some interesting New Year's resolutions that they are going to be diving into. I know I certainly have a few myself that I am going to be sticking to. But welcome, David. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad that you are able to celebrate 2 New Year's Eves this year. Thank you for joining us. We got Percy in the house. What is up, Percy? Good to see you as well, my friend. I hope you are doing well. We got Luke Starkiller in the house. What is up, Luke? Happy New Year's, Jeremy, Ravener, and everyone in the chat. Titanium white and crimson red is Bob Ross's favorite colors. Yes, we love Bob Ross here on this channel. In case you missed the clip earlier, we're big Bob Ross fans. You can't go. You just can never go wrong with the wholesomeness of Bob Ross.
Beat that little devil off.
Oh my goodness. Oh heavens.
Oh heavens. I mean, he's great. It's just tranquil. I was very much a huge fan of Bob Ross and still am to this day. You know, may he rest in peace. Anytime I'm up at night and I know I have to get to bed early because I got to get up early for work the next morning, sometimes you throw on one of those 8-hour looped videos of Bob Ross just painting freaking trees and streams over and over again, and that'll put you out like a light, or at least it works for me. Puts me out like a light.
Yeah, I grew up, man. I grew up on Bob Ross, where when he was actually doing those shows and stuff. What was super cool is there's a show that has like tribal people from India, or I don't know if they're from India or Pakistan, something like tribal people, and they showed them videos of Bob Ross, and they had them following along, and they kind of they followed along with his technique as he was showing them. And some of their stuff, some of their paintings were really passable. I mean, these were first timers. They don't even have like running water and that kind of stuff, and these people were able to follow along with with the translation into Hindi or whatever it is, and some of the paintings that they produced, and you could tell some of these like the women, I don't know if they don't get a whole lot of opportunities or whatever, but they were just absolutely beaming with the ability to to create something and have a super good result. So there must be something to his technique, to the way he explains it. And I never dreamed of somebody using like just a regular spatula or something, how he'd like take a spatula and cut like wide into a wave on the ocean or something.
Nothing but
it doesn't even make
knife.
sense. And every episode, man, the first few minutes, you're like, oh, he fucked that one up. Oh, there's no way. And the next thing you know,
he always saves it, and that's the beauty and the brilliance of Bob Ross. Because I remember, I know exactly what you're saying, where you'll watch and you'll be 10-15 minutes in, you'll be like, all right, there's no way he's going to be able to save this thing is an absolute fucking mess. Then 10 minutes later it looks like an absolute masterpiece, and he's done nothing, and he's really did it all with nothing but a blade, nothing but the knife. The guy is he was one of a kind, a one of a kind talent indeed. One of a kind talent. But yeah, again, anybody who's ever having some trouble falling asleep at night, Bob Ross, he'll do it. He'll definitely do it for you. He will put you out like a light. At least, again, he does for me. Let's see who else we got in here. We got makes sense, because season 2 definitely feels incomplete. Yeah, season 2 was not the most was not the best well received. Oh, season 2 feels incomplete, unless you're referring to maybe Squid Game.
Squid
we were
Game,
talking about
I think
Squid
so.
Game there earlier. So yeah, I haven't finished it yet, so I'm not quite sure how it ends, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it ends. But yes, we do have a season 3 coming super soon, so that is good to know. And welcome, Internet Face. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are enjoying your New Year's as well. Awesome stuff. I see Alice in Borderland going to have a season 3 next year as well. Yeah, I thought that show got canceled. I was under the impression, I remember somebody telling me that that show got canceled, but I'm glad it didn't. I hear it's pretty good. I haven't had a chance to watch it myself yet, but I have heard some good things about it. It's one of the few shows that Aldous has raved about, and he notoriously hates everything. So if if he likes it, there might be something to it. I'm gonna have to check that one out. I've heard a few people talk, have nothing but praise for Alice in Borderland, so I'm gonna check that one out at some point.
Yeah, I think I got distracted on that one. I started it. I remember starting it, and I didn't hate it, but I think something else either popped up or I drifted away. And sometimes with the binge model, when I knock out 3 episodes or whatever, 3 hours in a row, then I just have a hard time going back. On Squid Game, the one thing that got me was they're talking about Korean won, the currency, and a lot of it kind of rings hollow if you don't know what a won is. So I said I geeked out one day, and like every time they were talking about a dollar amount or whatever, like they had to decide to stop after the first game, and some people died. They decided, they were like, you could stop the game, and then we divide up the pot between everybody, and whatever amount it was after the first game, it was going to be about $16,000.
Yeah, it would have been like 24 million won each, and that equals to what, 16K? You said?
Yeah, 16,000. The final, if you win the whole thing, it's just under 31 million USD. So if you live and be the last sole survivor, the guy who owed 10 billion, like when they're talking about how much everybody owed, it was like 10 billion, 10 billion won, and that was about 6.8 million that he owed. So he was one of the more heavy debtors, and really what it basically amounts to is about 68,000 USD per player. So every time somebody dies, it throws about 68K into the pot in American dollars. So just so you guys know, you have a frame of reference.
Little frame of reference there. Yeah, hey, it's a big pot at the end of the day. I mean, it's a lot of money. And what's good about Squid Game is, and why I like it so much, is it really gives you a profound insight into the human psyche and what humans are willing to do, what humans are willing to sacrifice, what lines humans are willing to cross for money. And it's super prevalent and super kind of current to the world we live in today, where prices are going through the roof year after year. It's tough to make a really solid living these days unless you have like a really, really good job. So yeah, I always really enjoyed the kind of human element of Squid Game, where they really kind of show you the best of humanity and the very, very worst of what humans are capable as well. So it's a really fun show in that regard, for sure.
Yeah, and at the beginning, where he's like throwing money all around, though, you want because that's what I wondered, is like how much exactly was that? So, but 31 million is life-changing money by far.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you could throw money around hunting down a mystery. So, but when it shows him just throwing big giant stacks of bills to people to pay them off and stuff, you kind of got a sense that he does have FU money. He has money to burn.
Definitely has money to burn, for sure. Lots of money to burn. And tonight we have lots of awesome trivia, Fromville trivia questions that we are going to burn as well, along with ranking the Fromville monsters from best to worst. We will find out once and for all who this chat, at least, thinks is the best monster in From, and who is the worst monster in From. We're going to dive into all of that this evening. Bill D had my drink of vodka and wine. Going to be a relaxing evening, peaceful and enjoyable before 12, just with super awesome cowboy hat on. Fireworks going to be up as fun tonight. Well,
I hope you have more than a cowboy hat on. I hope you have a robe or something.
Hopefully you got the whole outfit on. That's the way to go. I mean, if you got a cowboy hat, I mean, what is there ever a better time to wear it than New Year's Eve? I don't think so. If there is, I can't think of it. So that is awesome, Bill D. I am glad you are kicking your feet up, relaxing, and enjoying yourself. I hope everybody is enjoying themselves this evening and had a really fun holiday season. We got Dizzy Guy in the house. What is up, Dizzy Guy? Good to see you as well. We got Wild Marjoram in the house as well. We got Xavier in the building. What is up, Xavier? Good to see you as well, my friend. We got the Kromanackle in the house. Happy New Year. Fromaholics. Enjoy. Yes, the Fromaholics, the From Villains are in the house. We got Sweet Pea in the building. What is up, Sweet Pea? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you are enjoying your New Year's Eve as well. We got Nick L in the building. What is up, Nick L, the talisman creator extraordinaire? And I do hear that people are getting their talismans and their shirts and all the stuff that we gave away during the Fromville giveaway. Looks like people are receiving their awesome wares, and that is awesome to see. Anybody who does receive a talisman or a shirt or anything that you've won on any of the giveaway streams that we did recently, when it does arrive, please feel free to drop a picture of it into the Discord. We love seeing that this stuff is arriving at your guys' doorstep, and that is awesome to see. It's very, very awesome, and we're definitely going to do another giveaway at some point as well. We have had a lot of people who unfortunately just were not able to make the last giveaway, because again, if you weren't present in the live chat for that live stream, unfortunately you ended up missing out. And that was during a time where From was at full steam and there was tons of other streams on at the time, so it's totally understandable not everybody was able to make it. But we are going to be doing another Fromville style giveaway at some point in the next few weeks or months, the latest. I'm just now starting to organize it and decide what exactly we are going to do for this next giveaway. But we will definitely be doing another one pretty soon here. So anybody who didn't have a chance to win a talisman the first time, you might have a chance to win some cool stuff on this next go around. So looking forward to that. I will definitely keep everybody posted when and where it is going down. Bob Ross is awesome. Little happy trees. Little happy trees. Yeah, happy little faraway trees from Bob Ross. Yes, Ellis and Victor are Fromville, Bob Ross. Very much so. I would say more Ellis than Victor. Just considering Ellis's kind of style, it's a little more Bob Rossy as opposed to Victor. Although, Victor's got some skills too. You can't take anything away from Victor's artistic abilities, that's for sure. That is for sure. Yeah, Bob could whip up a snowy peak mountain in no time. Absolute legend. R.I.P. Bob. He really could. I'm telling you, nothing but a knife. I used to watch those episodes where he would do an entire painting and never pick up the brush once. He would do the entire thing with the blade. And you'd see just some of the most beautiful mountainscapes you've ever seen in your life by the time the guy was done. So yeah, like you said, the guy could whip up some snowy peaks in no time. Absolute legend indeed. Ambien works for Sweet Pea. Hey, that'll work as well. Absolutely. A little bit of Ambien will probably work too, I imagine.
Yeah, better living through chemistry. Absolutely.
Right? Whatever works for you. Awesome. And I'm kind of again, I'll probably be revisiting Bob Ross this evening after tonight's stream, because unfortunately I'm actually working tomorrow on New Year's Day. We actually just landed a pretty substantial contract for our very small, humble little construction business, which is really great this time of year, because usually this time of year we're pretty much slow and off due to the weather. But we got some really good indoor work, which is highly profitable. It's always fun doing indoor finish work. So I will be having a blast with each and every one of you this evening, diving into the new year. And then tomorrow it's back to frickin' work for me. But hey, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. So I might be visiting Bob Ross this evening as well and have him put me out like a light. We got Admiral Wackass in the house. What is up, Admiral? Good to see you, my friend. Season 2 of Alice of Borderland was rough for me. Season 1 was decent. Okay, interesting. And I actually have heard other people say that as well, that Season 2 just wasn't quite as good as the first season. And, we tend to see that a lot these days, don't we? Where you get a phenomenal first season of a show, and then Season 2 comes around, and it's just, sometimes they're okay, but more often than not, second seasons just don't always live up to the first season. And again, I haven't finished Squid Game season 2 yet, but up until this point, I would say it's holding up fairly well to season 1 so far from what I'm seeing. But yeah, not every show does, unfortunately. Not every show can nail that second season as well as they nail that first one. That is, it's unfortunate. It is an unfortunate reality. We got Delsenia in the house. What is up, Delsenia? So awesome to have you back. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are enjoying your holiday season. And happy New Year's Eve to you as well, my friend. You are always a welcome sight in the chat. And it's awesome to see you back. I hope you are enjoying your holiday season. I hope you had some time to spend it with some friends and family. And it is awesome to see you. Awesome to see you indeed. All right, let's see who else we got in here. Let me scroll down. And again, big thank you to everybody for hanging out with us this fine evening. We got Gooch in the house. What is up, Gooch? What's up, everyone? Have a great New Year's and all the best in 2025. Yes, Gooch, absolutely. And you as well, my friend. I hope everybody is getting ready and gearing up for 2025. And yeah, again, if you guys have some New Year's Eve resolutions that you are going to be trying to stick to in 2025, and you don't mind sharing them, by all means, drop them in the chat. Let us know what some of your New Year's Eve resolutions are. But what about you, Ravener? Do you have any particular New Year's resolutions that you're going to be trying to stick to in 2025?
Man, you know what? Pretty much the boilerplate standard ones. I don't really make them because I know I don't really stick to them. I definitely have to start, working out. Just at that basic age where any kind of physical maintenance is never a bad thing once you get to my age. So I think and I have all the stuff too. I mean, I have a weight set and all the gear and all the accoutrement in my garage. So all I have to do is go out there. It's just that making that 20-foot walk to go to the garage. But I got to get in the right mindset, and then usually I'll drink a cup of coffee to get me a little pre-workout, pre-energy. The thing is, though, man, once I do it, I love it. Once I get started, and I've started and stopped enough times. When you first start, you always overdo it, and then every muscle in your body hurts, or everything that you hadn't been using that you did use, suddenly it hurts, and it sets you back. So I know enough not to do that, not to cripple myself on day one. I'll just go in there with a gentle approach. And then, again, though, it's a lot about slotting out time, organizing my day the correct way so that I get plenty of sleep. They say you build more muscle in the bed than you do in the weight room. I don't know necessarily if that's true, but I just have to but you do have to sleep to recover. And if I'm doing, if I'm at 52 acting like I'm 22 and like doing late nights and not getting enough sleep, you pay the price. It's what, it's like the equivalent of a hangover without the benefit of drinking. Yeah. It's just like, oh man, you learn to regret it early, and you do regret it. But I think that'll be my my resolution. Maybe not on January 1st, but I'll approach it. I'll approach the idea of considering to plan to develop a workout schedule. How's that for prevarication? I kind of
hey, it's
at some point.
It's a start. It's, again, even though your procrastination start is still a start in my book. So it's better than having no New Year's Eve resolutions, I would say. But no, that's a good one. Again, I'm a little fortunate. My job kind of keeps me in pretty decent shape throughout the year with everything that we do. So I don't have to spend a whole lot of time in the gym. Yeah, I mean, that's a good one to have, man, especially, we're getting older, age is undisclosed. Even I feel like I'm getting older, even though I'm not that old, but you start to feel it, man. All those years of sports and boxing, they really catch up with you in your mid-30s. And that's how I'm feeling right now. So, but yeah, luckily I'm pretty fortunate where my job kind of keeps me pretty fit, but there's never any such thing as working out too much. Well, I guess there is, but not when you're trying to get in shape. But no, that is awesome, man. That is a good New Year's resolution to have. And
And crack
yeah,
and smoking crack. Yeah, I want to start smoking crack.
shit, if you're gonna go in, go all in, right? Fuck,
Yep.
you never know. You never know what's around the corner, I guess. Last night's awards: Tien Chen, nicest person; Jade, funniest person. People voted Jasmine Monster over the new Nurse Monster. Yeah, and I gotta say, I was a little bummed out about that. I was going full in on the Nurse Monster. We had a little poll in the chat last night, and we were voting on. The chat was voting on who was the prettiest monster in Fromville, and it came down to Jasmine and the new Nurse Monster, the Nurse Monster in season 3. Came down to those two, and it looks like, unfortunately, my team lost rather soundly to the beauty of Jasmine. Everybody was feeling Jasmine, which is nothing wrong with that. Jasmine is a looker as well. Definitely the two prettiest Fromville monsters out of all of them. But here we have the two runner-ups. Now, of course, we're not talking about the awesome, creepy nurse monster from season 2, which I am devastated that she is no longer in the show. We are not talking about this nurse monster here. We are talking about the new nurse monster. It came down to her and Jasmine, who was the prettiest monster in Fromville. And unfortunately, for my side, Jasmine ended up taking home the gold. But again, you can't be mad at that. Jasmine is a looker as well. But Ravener, since you are here, which one would you have voted for? If you had to vote for prettiest Fromville monster, do you go Jasmine or do you go the new nurse?
Oh, that is kind of tempting. I would have to say I'd have to go with Jasmine. Honestly, she's got she's got the je ne sais quoi. She's got that little something.
She's iconic too. I mean, Jasmine is definitely for a monster that was only in like 2 freaking scenes. She has developed quite a legend around her, I guess you could say. A big portion of the fandom has been wondering, where is Jasmine? Will we ever see Jasmine again on screen? And it looks like we finally at least got a small answer as to why we haven't seen her, which was something you and I had talked about previously, and I think our predictions were pretty spot on in terms of sometimes it's just scheduling conflict issues. Sometimes you just can't get the same extras to kind of return season after season with extra work, especially background actors and actresses. They have to go where the work is. They can't they can't just wait around for a new season of From to come around each year. That is not going to pay the bills for these kind of actors and actresses. So it seems like that is why we haven't seen Jasmine again on our screens. Will we see her again at some point? Will they try reaching out to her again and try getting her in another scene in season 4 or 5? Maybe, I don't know. I certainly hope so. But at least we got a little answer as to why we haven't seen Jasmine again on the show. She simply just was not available. The actress was not available.
And she had a lot of lines. I mean, Jasmine the monster had a lot of lines. I mean, not that many lines for a bit part. She had a lot of lines that we derived a lot of information. She was trying to convince Kevin. We're still not sure if she was lying or telling the truth when she told Kevin that she's, I don't know, I didn't choose to be this way. And, that was one thing. And then when he said, "You're warm." And so and she goes, "Did you expect me to be cold?" That kind of stuff. So we know that they're, she may or may not, she may have just been manipulating him when she said, "I didn't choose to be this way." And then also, we know that they're warm. They're not cold-blooded. They're not vampires, right?
Yeah.
Like dead.
No, and that's an interesting line. That the fact that she said it wasn't my choice to be like this, especially considering the revelation we get at the end of season 3 when we found out that these monsters apparently were human at one point, and not just human at one point. They were actually, some of them anyway, were the parents of the Ankui children. And those parents, at the very least, they very much did make the choice to sacrifice their children for some promised form of immortality. Now, when Jasmine is saying it wasn't my choice to be like this, does that mean she wasn't one of the parents and she was kind of pulled into the curse with the rest of the town? Or was it along the lines of it wasn't her choice to be like this, in the sense this wasn't the immortality that we thought we were going to get, kind of thing. So yeah, we got some really interesting kind of information from Jasmine, and as Sherry Ann says as well, a lot of lines for such a small part. Indeed, absolutely. I mean, for at this point in time, this early in season 1, we hadn't really seen the monsters have really much dialogue, really next to any dialogue. We had the Granny monster in episode 1, speaking a few small lines just to kind of convince Megan to open the window. But up until this point, we hadn't really seen any of the monsters have like a proper dialogue session until Jasmine came around. And not only was it some good lines, but it was some good information as well, or at least it's led to some very interesting theory crafting around the monsters just based on the few things that she said. And once we heard that, I think a lot of us were under the impression that maybe these things were human at one point. Maybe something tragic happened to them and they got cursed and turned into these things. Now, obviously, we know a little bit more. After season 3, we have more context, but at least we were kind of, a little bit on the money in terms of a lot of us thinking that these things were human at some point. So yeah, we got some good information from Jasmine. And again, one of the first times we had the monsters have any kind of notable dialogue, really. And yet the Milkman monster wasn't even in the running. Like, what? Like, was this rigged? Well, I'll tell you what. The Milkman monster will very much be in tonight's running. For anyone who has recently just arrived, tonight we are hanging out and enjoying New Year's Eve as we count down the way to midnight together. But we also have some really fun things planned this evening as well, including some awesome and very fun Fromville style trivia that we're going to be diving into. And again, these trivia questions are all From based, and some of them are super easy, and some of them are a little bit on the harder side that, again, maybe only the most die-hard From fans will know off the top of their heads, which I know many of you are, just like us. And we will also be ranking all of the monsters in Fromville, or at least most of them. I mean, we got around 25, 26 different monsters that we grabbed photos of, and we are going to be ranking all of these monsters from best to worst to find out once and for all who is everybody's favorite monster, who is the most iconic monster on the show that everybody loves, or at least the majority of us love. Is it Smiley? Is it Granny? Is it the Milkman? Is it Cowboy? Which monster will reign supreme this evening? You guys will have the chance to decide. And I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes when we get to the rankings. It's going to be interesting to see who is the number 1 monster. I mean, I'm betting it's going to be Smiley or Granny. Personally, I think it's going to be one of these two. But then again, who knows? Maybe we'll be surprised, and some random monster will be number 1 after all. Like Jasmine, maybe Jasmine will take home the prize. Who knows? Or the bride, maybe
George R. Martin. Yeah, I was laughing at that.
Yeah, maybe it'll be George R. Martin monster. Indeed. Indeed. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe even the creepy magician monster that we only see once and haven't seen since. Or maybe it will be the creepy worm ballerina, or the man in yellow himself, or maybe even the kimono creature. Who will be the number 1 monster? That should be fun. That should be fun. Definitely Cowboy, then Granny, then Smiley, says Bill D. Okay, so going with Cowboy number 1. Hey, that's nothing wrong with that. I think Cowboy became a very popular monster, especially after the beginning of season 3. He's got that swagger to him, you know what I mean? Whether it's the outfit, the belt buckle, the way he carries himself like a real live rodeo star. The Cowboy monster has really risen up the ranks a lot from season 2 to season 3 to become a pretty big fan favorite. So that's not too surprising. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboy monster ranks pretty high on our list this evening. That should be fun. That should be fun. But I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to diving into this. First, of course, we're going to start it off with the From trivia. We'll do the From trivia first. And then when the From trivia is done, we will dive into ranking all of these awesome beasts before us. But first, let me finish saying hi to the awesome chat. And again, big thank you to each and every one of you for hanging out with us this evening. I know, again, New Year's Eve isn't the most ideal time to catch a live stream, so I very much appreciate each and every one of you who chose to hang out with us for a little bit this evening and count down the way to the new year. Like Forever Autumn, Happy New Year's Eve, Fromily. Absolutely, the From villains are in the house this evening. Love it. Just choose 3 days a week and do some workout on them. 3 days a week is a very good regimen. I mean, like you said, when you're first starting working out, you definitely don't want to go every single day. You will burn your body out after the second or third day. You really will. You want to ease into it every other day, or maybe even once every 3 days. Ease into that until you are ready to go at a higher pace. And as Admiral Wackass says, maybe even dive into the crack. Who knows? Who knows? We got Sherry Ann in the house as well. Welcome, welcome, Sherry Ann. We got Katie Joe in the building. Hey, all. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. And again, I hope everybody is enjoying their holiday season. We got the Grumbledore in the house. What is up, Grumbledore? Good to see you. Did the teen monsters get cursed along with their families? That's what I'm wondering as well. Absolutely, Luke, because that's one thing we do get a little bit of a revelation at the end of season 3 in terms of the monsters, at least some of the monsters being the parents of the Onkui children. But from what we can tell, there are only 7 Onkui children, which means a lot of these monsters couldn't have been parents. The math just isn't there. There's not enough children for all of these monsters to be parents. So I've been wondering that as well. Where did the rest of these monsters come from? Did the entire town get cursed maybe? Was this one of those deals where the entire town was in on this sacrifice and maybe only a few of the monsters were actual parents of the children, but the entire town was in on it, so they all got turned into monsters? Was it the families of the parents that also got turned into monsters as well? Is that why we have a cheerleader running around? Is that why we have some of these other younger monsters running around, like the female student, the male student? Why exactly do we have tons of monsters, but only 7 Onkui children? That is the question that we need to have answered in season 4 and beyond. How exactly do we have all of these monsters? Because again, they clearly can't all be parents. I imagine the old librarian ain't a freaking parent of one of them Onkui children. No way.
Right. Yeah, did they draw straws? I mean, did the ones that had children like draw straws maybe? Who knows? Yeah, how exactly does it work? And because we know now that if the monster does get killed, they don't come back as a baby. Smiley advanced and grew into his current form. So I guess if any of the previous reincarnations succeeded in killing a monster at any point, it also would have, imagine if Fatima had Granny. Imagine that kind of mental trip that she would have.
Yeah.
If she had a Granny monster as her baby.
Exactly. Like there's no way Granny was a parent to one of those young freaking children. Those Onkui kids were what, 7, 8, maybe 10 years old at most. There's no way Granny monster is popping out a kid at her age. That's for damn sure. That is just not in the cards. So yeah, it'll be nice to get some definitive answers as to why we have so many monsters, but only a few Onkui children. And as Paul Smith says, there got to be a prequel. Too many unanswered questions, and maybe that'll be the case. I mean, it seems like, I know it's not confirmed yet, but we have heard some of the actors in other interviews state that maybe 5 seasons is kind of what they're aiming for. So if that is the case, there's only two seasons left. 20 episodes left at most to tell the rest of this story. So you start to wonder, are there going to be some unanswered questions, as Paul mentions? And I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, maybe they are even intentionally leaving some questions unanswered so they can have room for a prequel. Game of Thrones did something similar, and it was very much to their detriment. When we got to the end of Game of Thrones, there was a lot that Dan and Dave wanted to dive into about the origin of the White Walkers, the Night King. There was going to be a lot more information that we were going to be given on the White Walkers and on the Night King. But unfortunately, they were not able to put that into Game of Thrones because a lot of that information HBO wanted to save for the spin-off show that was supposed to come right after Game of Thrones called The Long Night. But then when The Long Night came into production, it was an absolute disaster from start to finish. Apparently, the pilot they filmed was so bad that HBO wouldn't even let George R.R. Martin watch the damn
Is
thing.
that the one with
So
Naomi Watts? They're supposed to have
yes, the
Naomi
one with
Watts as
Naomi
lead.
Watts. It was
Oh,
supposed to
okay.
be set thousands of years before Game of Thrones, and we were going to see the first Long Night, the first time the White Walkers descended into Westeros. That was going to be the setting of the spin-off show. But again, apparently the pilot was so bad, the show was so disjointed, and even the writing, from what I hear, was atrocious, that they scrapped the entire show and threw $35 million down the drain in the process, which is what they spent on filming the pilot. But then all of the Game of Thrones fans were left with all of these unanswered questions about the White Walkers and the Night King, answers that we were supposed to get in the spinoff. But of course, once the spinoff got canceled, we were left just without all of these answers. So it's always a big risk. If a show is going to purposely leave unanswered questions in the hopes that they're going to answer those questions in a spinoff, again, it's a big risk because you never know if the spinoff is even going to get greenlit or if the spinoff is going to be good, if the fans are going to like it. So it will be interesting to see how From wraps up these final 2 seasons, if they are planning only 5 seasons, which seems to maybe be the case. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Are they going to leave some things unanswered? Are they going to maybe leave a little bit of room open for a spin-off or a prequel or a sequel show? How exactly are they going to wrap up the rest of From if they truly only have 2 seasons left? They got a lot to get through. There is still tons of unanswered questions that we just don't know about From, and not a whole lot of time to answer all of them if they really are only doing 5 seasons. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they end From, and if they leave some unanswered questions or if they leave some things a little bit ambiguous with the hopes of maybe doing another show at some point down the road. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I mean, and having said that they're not going to spend a lot of time developing the character, like talking about the characters prior to Fromville, they do have to at least spend a little bit of time, even just a part of an episode, dealing with the origins. They gave Jade that vision down in the tunnels of the Ankui kids laying there. That was pretty brief. But yeah, there's no way they can get around if they're. I mean, if they were going to spend screen time on any one set piece, I would like to see the origins of the monsters and how exactly the whole curse came to be. That would be a good place to invest their time and effort, I think.
Yeah.
Every bit as important as what Jade and Tabby and all the rest of them are going to try to do to break out of it. I really want to have a greater understanding, and they still have to explain what the talismans are, how they work, how they came to be. I just want to know the mechanics of all of it. I want the mechanism.
Yeah.
I want to understand the world that they live in. So it'll make it better for me if I understand more, I think.
I think I think it'll make it better for everybody. And like you said, there's some really, really big questions that we still need answers. We got a pretty big exposition dump at the end of season 3 that gave us some answers, but we didn't actually see any of it. We didn't actually see how the sacrifice happened. We didn't actually see what really happened to the Ankui children. Who or what really convinced the parents to do this sacrifice? Was it the man in yellow? Was it some other kind of entity? What kind of role is the man in yellow going to play? Is he the main villain? Is he the big bad? Is he in control of Fromville, for all we know? So yeah, there's still tons of questions that they definitely still need to answer, and I'm hoping we get the mechanisms behind these things as well. Like you said, the talismans, still a huge question mark. Where did the talismans come from? Who created the talismans? Who put them in that stone hut? As you mentioned, now that we know that Julie has this story walker ability, could we find out that Julie has influenced the story in other ways that we don't even know about yet? As you mentioned, could Julie potentially have been the one to put those talismans in there in the first place? And if so, where did Julie find the talismans? So we got a lot of questions that they still need to dive into. And if nothing else, it'll be interesting to see how they structure these next 2 seasons and what they choose to give to us and what they choose to leave a little bit ambiguous. Because I imagine they're not going to answer every single little thing. But as long as they get the broad points, the broad strokes, the big questions, like the monster's origins, the true monster's origins, actually seeing it instead of hearing it, the big things like that. I'll be satisfied if they give us the bigger stuff, and I'm okay with some of the smaller things being left ambiguous. No problem with that. Of course, Jim, Sleeper, hold on a of course, Jim, Sleeper, hold on a coworker, then ascending to the next level, the basics. Hey, whatever works for you, that's what you got to do. Haha, Tabitha will have a nervous breakdown without Jim there to emotionally support her. No. Haha.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting if nothing else. I have to imagine, just based on geography alone, considering where Jade and Tabitha were in relation to Jim. I mean, Jade and Tabitha aren't too far away from where Jim was killed. So that'll be interesting to see who exactly is going to discover Jim's dead body. And it seems like they're going to find him dead during the middle of the day. And unless the man in yellow is still there, present in the scene when Tabitha or Jade show up, nobody's going to know it was the man in yellow who killed Jim. We as the audience know because we have that bird's eye view that our characters don't. But that's going to be a very interesting aspect in terms of how are they going to, discover Jim's death, and who is the blame going to fall on? Since Jim got killed during the day, I imagine the monsters aren't going to be the main suspect here. A human is going to be the main suspect here. And we already know how big, or the dog. Yeah. I mean, considering how bad his throat was ripped open, that actually might not be a bad idea. We have seen that the dog has threatened Jim in the past. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see not only who discovers his body, but where's the suspicion going to lie? Are they going to start, is it going to fall on Sarah? We already have a lot of the people in the town are already very untrusting of Sarah. A lot of people already think Sarah killed Tilly even. So it's going to be interesting to see how Jim's death plays out early in season 4. And again, where that blame will ultimately lie. But we shall see. We shall see. Enjoy the New Year's and try to not end up the next morning like Jade was when he first entered From. Yeah, Jade was in a pretty rare form, wasn't he? Jade was in a pretty rare form when he ended up in Fromville. He was he was in Fromville physically, maybe, but his mind was elsewhere. That's for damn sure. His mind was off in some sort of trip, it looks like. Jade wasn't just high when he entered Fromville. Just based on the signs that he was exhibiting, Jade definitely looked like he was tripping balls when he entered Fromville. I don't know what he was on, if it was mushrooms or some other kind of tryptamine or some other kind of psychedelic, but Jade was definitely not just your average high when he arrived in Fromville. He was on the strong stuff. He was on the strong stuff, indeed. Christy was the most beautiful, and her smile was absolutely beautiful until haircut. Oof, Bill D cutting to the quick. Yeah, poor Christy. Poor Christy. It was, she had a really nice, luscious head of hair in that first season. And unfortunately, we all saw it get absolutely butchered by Mari, which some people suspect Mari gave Christy that haircut on purpose so nobody would look at her anymore. Maybe Mari was a little worried that Christy and Kenny were getting a little too close. Who knows? Who knows? Hollywood Pineapple speaking about his drug system, but if you want to go that way, yeah, maybe. Milkman Monster wasn't even in the running. Yeah, unfortunately, the Milkman Monster was not in the running last night. So, but I promise he will be in the running this evening. Question. Does worst mean most malicious / best mean kindness, or does best mean favorite and worst least memorable? I think it's going to be more along the lines of favorite to least favorite. We'll keep it simple in that regard in terms of favorite monster to least favorite monster. Just to keep it a little simpler. That way we're not talking about, who's the most malicious, who's the most dangerous, who has the biggest body count, yada, yada. That could get a little bit sticky. So just for the sake of simplicity, we will keep it to favorite monster to least favorite monster. That is how we will do the ranking system this evening. I just feel like it's probably a little bit easier that way in terms of the, again, the simplicity of it all. We shall see. Yeah, definitely Cowboy, then Granny, then Smiley. 3 picks that are definitely going to be up there in the running. Indeed. Drag him for not finishing Winds of Winter. Yes, Forever Autumn. I probably am, myself personally, I am definitely going to rate the George R. Martin monster on the absolute lowest tier possible, just because Winds of Winter hasn't come out yet. So I'm right there with you, my friend. Right there with you. Is Crush Guy even a monster? No idea. Crush Guy might just be a freaking human, but he looks pretty gnarly, so I figured, what the hell, I'll throw him in there anyway. Just like the Ankui child and the whole, I don't know if I threw the Ankui children in there, but I did
one of
throw
them, yeah.
also in, I did, yeah, I think I did throw one of them in there. We also threw in the ballerina worm monster, the kimono creature, and of course the man in yellow as well. So it's pretty much all of the monsters that we've seen on Fromville, not just our nightmare creatures, but pretty much all of the villainous creatures that we have seen. And where's my boy Martin? It's funny, Admiral, I actually thought about putting Martin on there as well, but I thought that was maybe a step too far, just because he was pretty much fully human. But thinking back, yeah, maybe I should have added Martin to the list as well. It would have been interesting. If nothing else, it would have been interesting to see where he would have ended up in the rankings, for sure. For sure. The Cowboy Monster is handsome. The swag helps. It does, doesn't it? I mean, again, he's got some swag to him. The Cowboy Monster has a little bit of swagger to him. I enjoy the cut of his jib, if nothing else. He's got that. He's got that style. He's just got that style to him. Whether it's the threads, whether it's the way he walks. Again, the whole rodeo, hand on the belt buckle kind of thing that he always has going on. He's got the swagger. I 100% agree with you, Sherry. He has got the swagger. And actually, the Cowboy Monster will also be the subject of one of our tougher questions in our From Trivia that we're going to be diving into here in a minute as well. We've got Pam Jam in the house. What is up, Pam Jam? Good to see you, my friend. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad y'all are here. I'm thinking of ditching my plans to go to the bar to stay in. My cats are nervous. Oh, I am sorry to hear that your cats are nervous. But you are obviously more than welcome to hang out with us this evening. We are going to be hanging out over the next few hours as we wait for midnight to come around and the new year to officially ring in. And in the meantime, yes, we will be diving into some Fromville festivities, ranking all of the monsters, and of course, some Fromville style trivia that I am getting ready to pull up here in 1 minute. There's got to be a prequel. Yeah, maybe there will be. Maybe there will be a prequel. Again, shows like this, it's interesting to. I mean, it really all depends on how From ends. How much do they cover in this show? That will be very telling if a prequel or a sequel is even possible. I mean, who knows? They might go, full balls to the wall and just answer every little thing in this show. And if that's the case, doing a prequel or a sequel might be a little bit tougher. But if they do leave some unanswered questions, if they do leave some things a little bit ambiguous, yeah, I mean, maybe there could potentially be room for a prequel. I guess that will be, before I pull up into the trivia, I guess that will be my first question of the night to each and every one of you in the chat. What do you guys think? Would you want a From spinoff show? After From is over, would you guys want a From prequel show that was maybe set decades or even centuries in the past, showing some of the more origins of Fromville, the origins of the monsters, a little bit deeper into all of the earlier stuff? Is a From prequel something that you guys would want? And if so, would you watch it? What about you, Ravener? Would you want a prequel?
Honestly, no. I'm one of the. I'm like once bitten, twice shy kind of thing. I want a show. I even stuff like Shogun, ones that I really really love. I want them to end. I want them to be done and be perfect. I want them to be beautiful and satisfying and finish strong. I mean, I'm going to watch Shogun season 2 without a doubt, but again, man, is it lightning in a bottle? The cast is perfect. Can you replicate the magic of that we're seeing in this season of From, or this iteration of From, with a whole new cast, with somebody who's different than like Harold Perrineau? or the other characters that really anchor this show and make it what it is. I
Yeah.
don't think so. It's how they talk about, oh, we're going to reboot The Princess Bride. No, you're not. You're not going to do that, because that cast was magic. It was a one-time thing. Just be happy with the one-time thing. Be happy that you have something beautiful and perfect. And I mean, I didn't give a crap about any of the Walking Dead sequels, any of that kind of stuff. I liked the original thing, and those are the ones that really kind of got me to feel this way. Sometimes I just want things to end. I mean, I was really happy when Shogun was one season, and now it's going to be two and more. Now, yes, they do have source material to work off of and other stuff, but we've seen way too many times with both Amazon and Netflix that having perfect source material isn't necessarily, it doesn't mean that you're going to get a good result, because these writers have a bad tendency. And ironically, of all people, George Martin was one of the ones that said that, talking about his stuff being adapted, when writers make stuff their own and throw out the original work. He was not too pleased with the direction they went with House of the Dragon.
No,
because the thing is,
wasn't.
you've given them a blueprint. The Witcher guy, they had a blueprint. Even I don't know so much about Lord of the Rings, because they were writing fanfic, because they didn't have the rights to anything good. They just had to make it up themselves. But The Witcher, they had a blueprint. House of the Dragon, they had a blueprint. Literally, the built-in fan base. All you have to do is make a faithful adaptation of that stuff. It could be exact, or you can make a few changes. Even Peter Jackson in the original Lord of the Rings trilogy made a few changes. They wrote out some characters. They made Arwen more central than she was in the books. But the thing is, it didn't take away from it.
No,
It was
Tom Bombadil. God dang it.
Oh yeah, Tom Bombadil, right. But that whole scene where Arwen like tells Aragorn, I'm the faster rider, and then she does the thing with the sweeps away the Nazgul with the river, and it takes the shape of horses and all that stuff. She didn't do any of that in the book, none of it. But cinematically, it was beautiful and awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I don't trust writers anymore. Hollywood has to earn my trust at this point.
Okay.
And so the long story short, to make a short story long, no sequel for me. Thank you.
No, that's totally fine. That is totally fine. And I do agree with you to a certain extent. It does feel like we are kind of living in, I know I've said this in the past, but it does kind of feel like we are living in the age of the reboot these days, where a lot of things that are coming out are reboots of pre-existing shows or movies or adaptations of other source material. And I think that's why I was so drawn to From in the first place, is because it wasn't that. It isn't that. It's a new and original story that doesn't have source material. There isn't a book or a movie that we can go and get all the answers to it. So that's why I really was drawn to From. But when it comes to a prequel, I would be open for it myself personally. I mean, again, it depends on how this show ends. How much do they leave open-ended? Like, how much room will there be for a prequel? But depending on how they end this show, I would absolutely be open to a prequel series. I think a prequel would probably be a little bit better than a sequel. I mean, again, depends on how it ends, but just on everything we know up until this point, there's a ton about the history of this place, the history of Fromville, the history of the monsters, the history of all of it. There's so much about it that we don't know. It'll be interesting to see how much of that they give us in this main series and how much they, again, leave ambiguous. So depending on how it ends, I think I would be up for a prequel if it kind of was true to the original. If they had the same creative team in place and they put the same amount of care into it, yeah, I'd be open for it. I'd at least give it a chance. But I totally understand the hesitancy, because sometimes sequels and prequels can end up, going so far as to almost ruining the original sometimes. So I definitely get the hesitancy. Missy is yes, absolutely awesome. Lily says 100% want, awesome. We got Forever Autumn, yeah, but just a mini series. Now that's an interesting idea. If you do like a little prequel, have it just be like a one season one off, a little one off mini series. That's not a bad idea. No more spinoffs, please, says FaZe. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Steed says definitely. They do them just to do them now, and there is an aspect of that as well. Absolutely. Sometimes you'll see prequels and sequels just for the hell of it. And I feel like we saw this with Joker not too long ago, where the first Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, it was a smash hit success. And you saw that movie get made on a $50 million budget, and it pulled in over $1 billion. Now, I know 50 million might sound like a lot of money, but for Hollywood standards and for a Hollywood production, spending $50 million on a movie is pennies nowadays, absolute pennies. When you think about the 200-300 million some of these films spend on their budgets, and some of these series, you look at House of the Dragon and Rings of Power, both of those shows are around a $200 to $250 million budget. So when something like the first Joker comes around on only a shoestring budget of just $50 million, and it pulls in a whole $1 billion, which was hands down the biggest profit margin of that year by far in terms of cinema, you see how popular it was, how well received it was. It seems like almost everybody loved that first Joker movie. But again, the studio sees those numbers. They saw how well it was. They see how well it was received, all of the hype around it, and they just could not help themselves. They had to do a sequel. And I'm not even watching the sequel. I mean, I've heard enough bad things about the sequel that I'm not even going to watch it, just because I don't even want it to ruin the image I have in my head of the first Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, because I'm a big Joaquin Phoenix fan. I usually watch the majority of things that he's in. I feel like he's one of the really, really good method actors we have out there. And method acting is I feel like it's a dying art these days, where you don't have that many just full-on method actors that are working in Hollywood nowadays. And Joaquin Phoenix, he's one of them. He just completely immerses himself in every role that he's in, to the point where he doesn't mind losing 50 freaking pounds for a role just to look like a skinny little weasel in Joker. That's the level of commitment that he brings to a project. And again, that's something that you see few and far between these days. But for me, I feel like the Joker was a perfect example of having a sequel when you definitely did not need one. That first movie was near perfect in the beginning, middle, and how it ended. But again, studios see these numbers, and sometimes they just can't help themselves. And again, there's nothing wrong with having a good sequel. I mean, sometimes, movies are set up to have sequels, and sometimes a sequel can even be just as good or even better than the original. I know it's rare, but it does happen from time to time. You look at Star Wars, for example. The first Star Wars movie was a huge hit, and then Empire Strikes Back comes out 3 years later and just completely levels up everything that first Star Wars movie did. So it definitely is possible for sequels and trilogies to come out and keep that same level of quality. It's just a little bit fewer and far between these days. But yeah, I'd be open for it. I'd be open for a From prequel, again, depending on how this one ends and depending on who the creative team behind it was. I would be up for a little prequel of From. Sure.
Yeah. If you get the original guys, but if you get like the third assistant director on their directorial debut, it's like, oh, I don't know, man, I'm not too into it. But you're right about those method actors, man. I like ones like Daniel Day-Lewis or Christian Bale. Those guys really elevate pretty, and those are the ones you can reliably watch in almost anything, because they're all going to be fantastic in everything.
Indeed. And yeah, I mean, that's why Christian Bale, he's another one. I try to catch everything that Christian Bale does ever since, very early on in his career, when he first came out with things like The Machinist. If you really want to see how far some method actors take it, look at Christian Bale's performance in The Machinist, and you look at all of the weight that he lost for that movie, and just what he permanently damaged his body putting himself in that state for that film. A lot of people see The Machinist and they think a lot of it is CGI. When you see his rib cage literally just fucking right there because the guy is so skinny, a lot of people thought it was fake. That is 100% real. Christian Bale nearly killed himself getting into that state to film that movie. And again, it's that dedication that you just don't see too often these days, but it's still out there in some small doses. You'll still see some. Most definitely, if it's written correctly, says Greta M. David Mills says yes. Pre-1978, says Steed. Now, that would be the interesting question, right? Like, if From did do a prequel, when exactly do you set it in? I imagine they would be very tempted just to kind of fully flesh out that 1978 timeline, where they bring back the young Victor, they bring back the young Eloise, they bring back Miranda, they bring back Christopher, and do like a full-on miniseries set during that 1978 time period. I could totally see that probably being the most likely route if they did do a prequel. But I kind of agree with you, Steve. If they were to do one, I would like to see something pre-1978. Let's see the generations before Miranda. Let's see the generations before Christopher. Let's see the state of Fromville before all of that. Because we do know there were generations in Fromville even before the 1978 timeline. That much we know for sure. So yeah, I mean, if they do a prequel, I think they would be very tempted to do that 1978 time period and just flesh that out a little bit more. But I would much rather have something pre-1978 as well, for sure.
And it would be a crazy world too, because I mean, anything pre-Boyd is also pre-Talisman. So the world that anybody prior to that lived in would be incredibly different.
Yep.
You definitely don't want to get attached to a character in that show.
Not in that show. And that could be part of the fun of it, part of the allure of it, just the danger just being heightened times 10 in a prequel like that, because there is no talismans, there is no guaranteed safety from these monsters when they come out at night. Then we start to see how clever are humans really, how smart and how clever are a group of people capable of being. Do they have it in them to survive? Do they have it in them to outsmart these monsters on a nightly basis and evade them? Or are we going to see a huge body count, which we most likely probably would? So I think it could be interesting. Again, depending on how they handle it, depending on, the creatives behind it, I would definitely be open for a little a Fromville prequel. I need to know what the origin is. The show could have an episode dedicated to it, even if they do flashbacks or something. And again, that's another big question, is how much are they going to, again, show us in this original show? Like, how much will we really learn? How much are they really going to reveal? Maybe they'll reveal all of it. Maybe we will get all of those definitive answers to all of those big mysteries that we want to get. Maybe we will learn all of that in this show. But who knows? I guess we'll see. Only if it has the same writers and spirit and not crappy. And again, absolutely. I want a miniseries from Portland, Oregon, from Deadliest Catch Phil from 1800s and a prequel if they don't explain. Yeah, again, I think a miniseries would probably be the best bet. Like, if they were to do something, just do a one-shot miniseries, 1 season, 10 episodes, and just tell a short, and condensed story that has a satisfying beginning, middle, and ending within that 10-episode arc, and don't even leave the possibility open for another season. I would be totally fine with a little mini-series like that, where it's just definitively ending in that 1 season. That would be fine.
People riding in covered wagons and horseback and stuff. or like a regular like massacres happening so often, the arriving cars that are replacing the dead people will be like a Macy's parade. Thanks, like the Macy's Thanksgiving parade, just continuous
Red Dead
line.
Fromville. That'd be fun. That would be fun. Based on popularity, MGM can demand it. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, with how popular From is, yeah, MGM might want to come to John Griffin and Jeff Pinker and say, hey, we want to keep this ball rolling. And that's exactly what HBO did with George R.R. Martin in A Song of Ice and Fire. As soon as Game of Thrones ended, even though Game of Thrones ended pretty horribly, in my opinion, I feel like they really botched that last season. Even in the midst of all of that, there was still a huge appetite for Game of Thrones shows, for A Song of Ice and Fire spin-off shows. And that's exactly what HBO did. As soon as even before Game of Thrones was over, they were already putting plans into place to create that Long Night spinoff. And then when that failed, they went right into House of the Dragon and Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So absolutely, I mean, just off based sheer popularity alone, I wouldn't be too surprised if MGM did come to John Griffin and Jeff Pinkner and say, hey, we want to keep this going. I know you're only planning to do X amount of seasons, but we love this story. We love this world. We love the setting. We love everything that you have created here. We want to keep this from ball rolling, and we think there is enough appetite out there in the fan base for a successful spinoff. So yeah, I could totally see the higher ups at MGM, offering Pinkner and Griffin a pretty sweet deal to come up with some kind of spinoff. Absolutely, I could see that for sure. For sure. But all right, enough time has passed. Let's dive into this trivia, shall we? Now, for anybody who has only recently just arrived, we are going to be doing some Fromville style trivia. And again, these From trivia questions range from super easy to a little bit more difficult. Maybe some that only really die-hard fans of From will know. So we are going to dive into that right here and have a little bit of fun with our Fromville minds. How much do we remember from some of these earlier seasons? How many fine details do we remember about some of these earlier episodes? What exactly are we getting into? What exactly do you guys remember? And how much are you guys going to get right? Because again, we had fun. We had a lot of fun kind of diving into these trivia questions. And, I wanted to make sure it was spread out pretty evenly, where we did have some pretty really easy questions, but we also, again, got some pretty advanced questions as well that only attentive fans of From will know. So without further ado, let's dive into it, shall we?
Yeah, some of these stumped me even as I was going over them before the show. I was like, oh shit, and some of it is stuff you knew at one point and then forgot, and it's like, oh man, it would sit there on the tip of my tongue, and then like, midway through work tomorrow or something, it would be like, son of a, it's this, and it'd come to you unbidden.
Yeah. It's again, it's in a show like this. I mean, I know we're in the middle of doing our rewatch right now, but it's been so long since I've watched some of those earlier episodes. I mean, yes, we watched some of them during the rewatch, but whenever I'm doing a watch party, or whenever we're doing a watch party, sometimes it's hard to pay as close attention as opposed to when I'm watching alone. Like when I'm watching From for the first time, I really prefer to watch the episode for the first time alone, not in a group setting, just so I can pay attention a little bit better. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but anytime I'm in that group setting watching an episode, I tend to maybe not pay as close attention as I would if I was alone. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how some of these questions go, and if we will see, if anybody remembers some of these kind of finer details from earlier in these seasons. But without further ado, let's start it off with the first question here. What was the name of Trudy's pillow? You guys remember Trudy, I am sure. She had a not so big role in season 1, but she was definitely a memorable character, to say the least. And she had a very trusty pillow that she held very close, near, and dear to her. I do see somebody already got the answer right, so that is awesome, but we hid that. Sorry. But yes, what was the name of Trudy's pillow? Ladies and gentlemen, what was the name?
Yeah.
And it looks like we have it in the chat already. Interphase has got it. Meredith is the correct answer.
Yeah, sorry, choose a channel name. I saw you. Yeah, you leaked it early. You jumped the gun.
But yeah, I'll give credit to both Interface and Choose a Channel Name for both getting the correct answer. I showed my cards a little too early. I scrolled down a little too far. People saw the first question, which is totally fine. No, it's totally cool. But yes, Meredith is the correct answer. That is the name of the first That was the name of Trudy's trusty pillow. Indeed. Welcome, welcome. Again, congratulations. Choose a channel name and interface. You guys got it. Number 2. What character died under the Matthews house with Jim and Tom? Now we're talking the beginning of season 2 when the Matthews family home collapses. What is the name of the character that gets trapped under there with Jim and Tom that dies? What is that character's
You wouldn't
name?
shut up. All you got to do is shut up. No, it hurts. Oh, it hurts.
Yeah. Oh, and it looks like Miss C got it. Yes, Miss C. Brick is his name. That is correct. I see David Mills also got it as well. And Mother of Dragons, you guys are correct. Well, I guess I'm not a true fan. Again, some of these are a little tricky. They're simple, yes, but it's these kind of small, finer details that you tend to forget after a little while. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we picked a pretty good mix of easy and hard ones here, but that one was definitely a little bit harder one. Yeah, good old Brick that couldn't shut his lip, unfortunately, and unfortunately got Tom killed along with him, the frickin' bastard. So screw you, Brick. You know, now that I think of it, Brick got one of my favorite characters killed. Like I'm a huge Tom fan. Yeah, screw you, Brick.
Yeah, and then he died. He got Tom killed, but then he died anyway. He died on his own.
It's like, I mean, if you're gonna die, just die yourself. Don't take Tom with you. Like, what the hell? Shit, poor Tom, man. Poor Tom. All right, up next, here we go. How long was Christy in Fromville before Mari arrived? How long was Christy in Fromville before Mari arrived?
Quick fingers,
Get your we learned this pretty early on in season 2. And yes, we got it, Bill D. 6 months. Yes, no, it is not a year, Forever Autumn. It is not a year, Sherry. It is, though, 6 months. Yes, Bill D got it. Lily got it. B. Morgan got it. And Mother of Dragons and SL Rhodes also got it as well. Yes, it was 6 months. And that was a pretty interesting aspect of From, because up until that point, a big portion of the fandom was wondering, does time run at the same rate in the real world as it does in Fromville? A lot of people were wondering that. Like, is From sped up? Is time in From sped up a little bit more? Is time in From slowed down a little bit more? How exactly is it compared to the outside world? That was a question that we had. And Mari kind of gave us that answer when she arrived. Because up until that point, we heard both from Mari and Christy that they were away from each other. Both of them were away from each other for 6 months. So that not only gave us the answer as to how long Christy was there, but it also gave us the answer that time runs at the exact same rate in the real world as it does in From. So that was a good one. That was a good one. Yeah, they weren't separated for that long. I mean, 6 months is kind of long, but not crazy long, I guess you could say. But yeah, a good old 6 month period. Absolutely. Yeah, she was hot for a whole 6 months.
I know. And Kenny and her had their little book club together.
Oh, man. Savage. Yeah, I wish Mari missed the bus. Is this just for fun or prize? This is just for fun. I mean, we are unfortunately, I kind of threw this together kind of quick, so I didn't really have time to do like a proper giveaway with it, because I just thought about it too late. I mean, when we were planning the New Year's Eve stream, I was trying to think of what we would do just to have a little bit of fun. And the whole trivia thing kind of came to me a little bit late, so I didn't really have time to put up proper prizes. But we are going to be doing another giveaway at some point. I know a lot of people who didn't have a chance to win a talisman during the first giveaways. We're definitely asking, hey, how can we get a talisman? And I definitely want to be able to be as accommodating as possible. So we are going to do another giveaway in the coming weeks, or a month or two after the holiday season slows down and we're kind of well into 2025. We are definitely going to do another giveaway, and you guys will have another chance to win some really, really cool stuff. But tonight's just for fun. Tonight is for bragging rights. Which one of you are the most knowledgeable? Whose From knowledge is on point? That is what we are playing for tonight. The ultimate Fromville bragging rights.
Yeah, you're closing in on 30K. You could have a banging 30K giveaway.
That might be when we do it. I think that sounds good. Yeah, we are getting closer and closer to that 30,000 subscriber mark. Yeah, maybe when we hit 30,000 subscribers, we will do another big giveaway. That's a good idea. I like the sound of that. A 30K subscriber, 30,000 subscriber giveaway. That sounds good. That is a plan. That is a plan. Yeah, just for shits and giggles tonight. Indeed, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
I can't even speech to text to try and beat these speed typers because my dog is going bonkers trying to eat fireworks in the sky. Lily's at a disadvantage tonight.
I know. They need the CBD gummies for the dog that calm them down.
Yeah, there you go. Calm them
People
down.
have been doing that, man. Yeah, they've been drugging their dogs up.
Oh man, where is this world heading? Where is this fucking world heading? But yes, good stuff, guys. 6 months is the correct answer. All right, let's see. Up next, we have how many days did Fromville go without an incident before the Matthews family arrived? We learned this super early on in season 1. We see it written on the chalkboard. How many days did Fromville go without an incident? Yes, Bill D, Mrs. C. Yes, 96. Mother of Dragons. Yes, 96. LG Gaming. Lily. Anissa. Hollywood Pineapple. You guys are correct. They had a whopping 96 days without an incident. 3 freaking months. Over 3 months without an incident until the Matthews family and freaking Jade arrived and just crashed everything down to nothingness. But yes, 3 months. I mean, that's a pretty impressive streak to go that long without an incident.
Yeah, and Kadri said that they buried more people in a week than they'd buried in 3 months. Prior to Boyd arriving, when he was trying to give him the pep talk as Boyd was rebuilding the box after Frank got eaten.
That's right.
So yeah, that's definitely it. And I'm laughing because somebody deleted their name, deleted their guess. It's look, that's the thing. I mean, because of the latency and because of like people's internet connections being farther away or typing faster or slower. Yeah, we certainly on a giveaway we certainly wouldn't do it to the fastest finger because some people would certainly have an advantage.
Yeah,
I learned that back in the comic days. Like my phone would be like 6 seconds faster than the internet and like my PC. And then like if you and I are on StreamYard, we're 8 seconds or more ahead of everybody. So if somebody was on the panel, they'd be faster than everybody just by default. So yeah, we wouldn't do that to you guys, but yeah, it's good to see. I mean, you got some and you guys in the chat will see, some of these are a little easier. Some of them are a little harder. And some of them is just like, you didn't know you would be quizzed on it when you were watching it. So we don't hold it against you. Jennifer Grover. Long time no see.
Oh, how you Jennifer Grover. Yes, for $5 Canadian. Thank you so much, Jennifer Grover. Very much appreciate you. Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Lord Ravener. Hi, chat. Lots of love to you, all my angels. Well, thank you for that. That is incredibly generous of you, Jennifer. And I hope you are enjoying your New Year's Eve. I hope you are having a fun and safe New Year's Eve, hopefully spending it with some friends and family. And thank you so much for the support. Thank you for dropping by and hanging with us for a little bit. And thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah. I owe you a whoa. Whoa! Thank you indeed, Jennifer. Very much appreciate you. And again, I hope you're having a fun and safe holiday season this year. And hopefully you are enjoying your New Year's Eve. I know we are. We're having some fun now. We are having some fun now, I must say. It was all Frank's family before the Matthews family showed up. Indeed. It definitely was. That is for sure. For sure. All right, let's see what else we got here. Up next, the next question is, what did Boyd call What did Boyd call the name of the dog? What was the name of the dog that Boyd called? What did Boyd call the dog?
Looks like somebody else is on CBD gummies for New Year's.
I know, right? Where the fuck was I again, there's some typos in here. I typed this up way too fast. Like, I literally typed this up 15 minutes before the stream. So please excuse the typos. But yes, what was the name of the dog that Boyd was the dog that led Boyd back to town, essentially? Yes, Mother of Dragons, it was Gus. Gus was the name of the dog. Bill D got it. Miss C got it. Awesome stuff. Anissa got it as well. David got it. Greta got it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, it was Gus. Good old Gus the dog. And again, I think the dogs are another very interesting part of Fromville that we still know next to nothing about. And hopefully that will also be something we learn a little bit more about in season 4. Just what exactly is up with these freaking dogs? Where did they come from? Why are they still here? Clearly they're not like alive, living dogs. We saw these same dogs around during the 1978 timeline right after the massacre. No dog lives that freaking long, not even in Fromville. So hopefully we learn a little bit more about good old Gus the dog in season 4. But awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. Quite a few of you got that one. That was good.
Yeah,
that was good. Oh yeah.
Not always
right.
not the easiest of ones. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was fun. It was definitely fun coming up with these questions. I feel like we got a pretty good mix. I don't just shame me in the chat face, please. Shame me in the chat for my horrible typo typing here. 15 minutes before the stream is no excuse for these awful typos. All right, up next, what branch of military did Boyd serve under? We learned this in season 1 when we find out about Mr. Fish and Loaves, that Boyd served in the military, but what branch of the military did Boyd serve in? Yes, Sherry Ann, you got it. The Army. Yes, Forever Autumn got it as well. The Army indeed. Yes. No, Marine was Abby. That was Boyd's wife. Boyd's wife, Abby, was in the Marines. But Boyd himself was in the Army. Yes, Miss C got it. B. Ramos got it. Hollywood got it. Awesome stuff. Yes, Forever Autumn. Abby was the Marines. I gave myself bonus here. There you go. You got bonus points for Forever Autumn. Indeed.
Yeah. He needed a boat to ease his transition into the civilian world. Yes, after a long and decorated career, he said.
Indeed. Mr. Fish and Loaves in the Army. Awesome stuff. And yes, Abby was the Marine. Iron Abby, as it were. Yes, Iron Abby. Mr. Fish and Loaves. Yeah, the boat threw me. Indeed.
Tricky, yeah. The pony could have been in the cavalry too. Yeah, who knows?
Could have been, yeah. But I feel like that was an interesting aspect to add to Boyd's character. I feel like it explained a lot of who Boyd was in terms of him having that kind of militaristic mindset, the discipline that he has, and that kind of that innate nature to never leave a man behind when we see him trying to get Martin out of the dungeon in season 2. And then we see how hard it was for him to leave Randall behind in season 3, which is going to come back to haunt him, I feel. It was a good tidbit to learn about Boyd's character, and it was so fitting for how he carried himself that he was a service member.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, his knack for logistics, I mean, he just threw himself right into that role. It was something very natural to him.
Yeah. Mr. Fish and Loaves, man. Mr. Fish and Loaves. Whipped that town right into shape. He did. All right, here we go. Up next, what is the cowboy monster's real name? Now, this was a fun one. This was one that I remember when I first heard the cowboy monster's real name, I thought, what the fuck? That's his real name? But we do learn his real name. If you pay close enough attention to the after credits after the episode, you will find out the cowboy monster's real name. I know we all call him Cowboy Monster, and yes, some of us call him Woody as well, but he has a real name. What is the cowboy monster's real name? Let's see if anybody will get this one. This was one of the more tougher ones, I feel. The Cowboy Monster's real name. What was it? Looks like nobody has gotten it yet. I don't see
Getting
any
close.
correct answers
Somebody's getting
yet.
close. They're in the ballpark, but not quite. It is tough. It's tough.
This is a
And
tough
it's
one.
there's a character. It's the character name. There you go. There you
There
go.
it is. BK got it. Western Star. Yes. The Western Star is the Cowboy Monster's official real name per the From credit sequence. Indeed. What, Clint Tex? I gotta say, I love all the guesses. I mean, the guesses are great. We got freaking Woody, we got Wyatt Earp. Let's see what else we got. We got some really good ones there. We got another Woody. We got, I don't know, Chuck. We got a Yes. We got a Dan. We got a Bill. We got a Jack. We got a Tex. We got a Clint. I love it.
Yeah, and we still don't know if it means like because if he's wearing like a sheriff's badge, like that's a star, or is he a Western Star like movie star? Because everybody seems to be some almost like a caricature of a somebody from the 1950s. You know, the milkman. You know, everybody's a role. Like if you had to, all of them are from almost like from central casting, kind of. So is he a Western Star, like a Western Star actor, or is it
Like
exactly like Internet Phase, like he's a Western actor, or is it something to do with being a sheriff kind of thing? I don't know if he's actually wearing a badge though, right? Because but then again, he looked almost like
a rodeo guy.
Yeah, like Walter Goggins in what was it, Wasteland? Not Wasteland. The Fallout.
Kind of like Raylan Givens in Justified.
Okay, yeah. Wearing the wearing more like a costume, more of a costume than something like a Western person really would wear.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got
Paul
the big
Mashoni says
belt
exactly.
like the rodeo champs wear and stuff like that. It's a nice little outfit. He's got some swag to him, I must say. But yeah, no, great guesses, guys. Great answers. I like Buck. Buck's a good one from Samuel.
Oh my
Indeed,
God. Wall Street Tech with they have human names like Earl Scheib. We love Earl Scheib here. You know that. Yes.
I love that. I love that. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. And we got Jennifer Grover again for another 5. Wow. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Very much appreciate you. Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Lord Ravener. I think I missed some angels who addressed me personally. I'm bad with technology, so I couldn't scroll up. Me so dumb. You are absolutely not dumb, Jennifer Grover. You are awesome. And thank you again so much for the super chat. And I'm sure everybody who said hi to you, they are very, very appreciative of you saying hi back. That is incredibly generous of you. And thank you. Thank you so much for the support.
Crazy. I've known Jennifer since even before this show, I think, clear back in the Bancroft days. You remember those good old days, Jennifer? Yeah. Kind of crazy.
Indeed.
And she's up in the frozen north as well. Oh, yeah, it says Canadian 5. So you can tell she's in the frozen north. Yep.
The frozen north, the true north, as it were. But thank you so much, Jennifer, for the support. And I owe you another whoa. Awesome. Great stuff, guys. Great stuff. Jennifer is already getting us to close to half of our goal tonight. Already 2 of 5 down. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
What surprise is it? Oh, live call-in Q&A.
A call-in and Q&A stream. That is what we will be doing if we hit tonight's goal. That'll be 2 call-in streams that we owe, because I already owe 1. So there'll be 2 and a Q&A stream. So we are definitely going to have some fun with those if we hit the goal, that is. Yes, the North remembers. Indeed. And that's always one of the emojis that I never change out because I am a House Stark loyalist to the very end. I love House Stark. I love the North. If I could live anywhere in Westeros, I would not choose some flowery seat in the South. I would choose Winterfell any day of the week, even with the cold. I mean, hell, I'm used to the cold. I'm from the North myself. So yes, House Stark, the North always remembers here in our chat. Absolutely, B. Ramos. Love it. Love it. Does the taco drop on Tuscan tonight? Bet I know where Shelby is. I'll bet. I do miss hanging out with Shelby. That is one person I do very much miss hanging out with. I'm gonna have to reach out to Shelby and get him on one of these streams again because he's always fun to hang out with. Our good old pal Shelby Robertson, artist extraordinaire. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. But yeah, you can bet he's if he's not at Taco Bell, he'll be heading there soon. You can best bet on that. That is money in the bank. Up next, we have what is the name of Ethan's finger puppet that Julie kills? Now, this is very early on, the very first episode of season 1. What was the name of the
Julie
puppet
killed?
Yes, Mother of Dragons got it. Norman, indeed. Julie killed Norman. That was it. Absolutely. Mother of Dragons got it. It looks like Interface almost got it as well. Sue got it as well. Awesome stuff. Sherry got it. Catherine got it. Anissa got it. Everybody seemed to get this one. Awesome stuff, guys. Yeah, this was probably a little more of a easy to middling one, I guess you could say. But I think that Norman name has kind of stuck in a lot of our memories from that very first episode. That's one of the more memorable ones. So I had a feeling people would ace this one. Indeed, awesome stuff, guys.
A lot of sharp people in the chat, and I think in the pre-show that it had evaded me. I just couldn't get my brain to go. So yeah, you guys got it, and I did not. So good for you guys.
Awesome. See, I'm stumping even my own co-host. I love it. I love it. Yeah, other puppet is still a mystery. That's a good point, B. Morgan. I was always wondering, what's the name of the other puppet? That's a very good question. I certainly don't know that one. But yeah, that's a good question. What's the name of that other freaking puppet? Indeed.
Yeah, I know. And Steve, exactly right. It's the way the actor said the name. Like, Julie killed Norman. And Julie
killed Norman.
That's probably the most that I like Julie in the whole show, actually, was when she was just being, because that was such a big sister thing to do. And I mean, I did that to my brother. You're on a road trip, you're cooped up, and you just antagonize. It's literally holding your finger like an inch from their eye, and they're like, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you. It's literally that. So
quit yourself. Definitely. I've been there myself, having older siblings myself. But yeah, no, that was a good one. Great stuff, guys. Great stuff. Well, we got Jennifer Grover again. Wow, thank you so much, Jennifer, for all of the support. That is incredibly generous of you. Wow. Thank you. You guys are bleeping sweethearts, and I love you guys, your spirit, energy, and personalities. XOOX. Well, thank you so much for that, Jennifer. That is incredibly generous of you, and I appreciate that. I very much appreciate that. We try to have fun on here. We try to create a fun atmosphere where people can feel welcome to come and hang out for a little bit and dive into some of the craziness that we dive into here on this channel. So that very much means a lot. Whenever we hear that, it lets us know that we're maybe, just maybe, doing our job right, I guess you could say. So thank you so much for that, Jennifer. Very much appreciate you. And I owe you another whoa. Awesome stuff. Thank you. My sister and cousin did stuff like that to me all the time. And again, I think most of us, if you had an older brother or an older sister or even older cousins, as you say, I think most of us have probably experienced a moment like that at some point or another. Again, I know I have. I have 2 older sisters myself. And yeah, it wasn't always the funnest being the youngest sibling in our household. But we had fun overall. Overall, we got each other's backs, which is always good. Yeah, I'm twitching right now from childhood memories, says B. Morgan. I hope not. We definitely don't want to bring any PTSD out or anything like that. We certainly don't want to, upheave some bad memories from the past. So I guess we shall just move right on then. Let's just move right along. But thank you. Very much appreciate you. Very much appreciate it. All right, let's see what else we got. Here. Up next, How long has Victor been in Fromville? How many years has Victor been in Fromville? Now, this was an interesting one. I mean, this was one that even I had to kind of go back and double check to make sure I was right about it. How many years was Victor in Fromville? Close, close. You guys are getting close, close, very close, very close, very, very close, very, very close, very close, close. You guys are all super close, but not quite on the money yet. There is an exact number of years that he has been in Fromville for. You are close, B. Morgan, very close. Very close. There it is. Bill D got it. 44 years. Yes, Bill D. Victor has been in Fromville for 44 years. 1978 to 2022. That is it. Awesome stuff, Bill D. And again, that was a little bit more of a tougher one. I mean, not crazy tough once you kind of just break down the math, but you know, it was a tougher one. I think when a lot of us think of how long Victor has been in Fromville, we kind of all just think, 40 years or so, or around 40 years or so. But to get the actual number from 1978 to 2022, there you go. You got it. You got it, Bill D. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And yeah, that one was a little bit specific indeed. Little bit specific. But awesome stuff nonetheless. Bill D, you got it, my friend. And most of you were close. Most of you were right there. Right there. There you go, Bill D. I'm glad you're smiling, my friend. You got it. You got it. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Yeah, Bill D rocks. Absolutely. Bill D, you deserve a can of peaches for that. Absolutely. Let's get some peaches emojis in the chat for Bill D for getting that very tough one. Let's see some peaches in chat for our pal Bill D. Good stuff, Bill. Very, very good stuff. All right, let's see. Before we move on to this next trivia question, we got Brian Holiday for $4.99. Thank you so much, Brian. Why do the monsters keep Boyd alive? Seems like the fastest way to cause chaos is to kill him. Must be a command from Yellow Suit. Ooh, interesting. Interesting indeed. And it's a very good question, Bill. Brian, yeah, why are the monsters so insistent on not killing Boyd, on only breaking him? Is it really just because of that one line that Boyd utters at the end of season 2 when he shouts out that this place can't break him? Is that really the only reason why the monsters are keeping him alive and trying to break him as opposed to killing him? Especially, as you say, when the consequences of killing Boyd would be just astronomical. We've seen what this town was like before Boyd arrived. It was an absolute chaos, nightmare-fueled nightmare, for lack of a better term. It was not easy. I mean, people were dying every single night. They didn't have talismans. They didn't have protection. There was no structure. Before Boyd arrived here, this place was not a town. It was a place where you could maybe, hopefully, survive the night. But ever since Boyd arrived, it really has become a place where people can actually live and build some semblance of a life. And that is solely thanks to Boyd finding those talismans and whipping this town into shape. So considering how valuable Boyd is to the town, if you really wanted to cause some chaos, yeah, you would think taking Boyd out, you take out the head of the snake and the body will die kind of thing. But for some reason, they are not interested in doing that. They are interested in keeping Boyd alive and kind of psychologically torturing him. So that is a good question, Brian. Why are they keeping Boyd alive? Is it solely just to break him because of what he said at the end of season 2? Or are there some other higher up orders that are kind of putting Boyd off limits? Like you said, does the man in yellow specifically not want Boyd dead, maybe? I don't know, but that's a very good question to ask. I don't know. What about you, Ravener? When you think about why are they keeping Boyd alive? Is it solely just because of the statement Boyd made at the end of season 2 in terms of him saying, this place won't break me? Is that the only reason? Or could there be something deeper?
I mean, I think it goes back to the season 2 discussion where they talk about, is it hope? Is it hope that feeds the place or is it fear? Um, but the thing is, I mean, Boyd is definitely an agent of hope. He provides it, at every turn. So maybe, but the thing is, to have the fear, to have the disappointment, to have the discord, you have to have people be hopeful. Trusting in Boyd allows people to build up their good feelings, their anticipation that maybe they'll get out of there, literally getting their hopes up that Boyd will come up with a solution that they may actually someday get out of there, only to have it, have the rug pulled out from under them. So it's almost, probably if you were a creature that fed off of fear or negativity, the discord, having those rug pulls, if you were the man in yellow or the monsters or whatever power that be that feeds off of those, the rug pulls would be so much sweeter if you could get people to be very, very, hopeful just prior to that. And I think we've seen that many times. And even Donna's like starts freaking out, why can't they leave us alone? Or we had talked about how the storm had only knocked out half of the crop. It didn't knock out all the crop at one time, the vegetable crop. It didn't knock it out all at once. It left half of it there, which gave them just that little sliver of hope that, well, we've got to get out there and harvest what we've got before before the next frost or whatever, before it all freezes over. And then they go out there, hopeful that they're going to get at least half of the crop that the storm didn't destroy. And then whammo, find out, oh, it's all rotten. And that also played into, of course, feeding Fatima. But for that brief moment, the people at Colony House did have hope that they'd get some veggies, that their slightly uncomfortable food situation might not be catastrophic. And then they find out that it's catastrophic. So, yeah, I think you're definitely right, Brian. I think they keep Boyd alive, basically to keep people getting their hopes up again and again, just to set up the rug pull, to pull the rug out from under them and get them disappointed. Paul Smith says he thinks, yeah, they killed the crop to feed Smiley. I think that was also, I think that was absolutely a component of it. But I think, they could have killed it all without the storm, or they could have killed it all in the storm. Or they could have rotted it all. So, but I think that was also, I think you're exactly right, though. They did. And I think Jeremy brought that up too at the time, because I was of that mind that it was all entirely just about Donna and the rug pull. And it didn't even occur to me that they were playing the long game and actually getting those veggies to rot in order to feed us the feed us of the Smiley.
Good old Smiley. Yeah, let's bring Smiley to term with some rotten Colony House food. And again, it's one of those things that you don't really see develop until you see, Fatima going through what she was going through. Until Fatima starts eating all of this rotten food, I didn't for one second think that it was put there rotten specifically for her. I was of a similar mind as everybody else, that this was just something else that Fromville was taking away from them for them breaking the rules, kind of thing. But then when you start to see Fatima and the direction that her storyline was going in, and then you look back and think, oh, okay, it seems like this rotten food was specifically put here for Fatima. Maybe it wasn't Fromville taking something away from the town. I mean, it took something away from them, obviously, but it looks like that wasn't the sole goal in the end. Like you said, they were playing the long game. They wanted Smiley to have that sustenance, and he did. And he did, until Fatima, of course, had to upgrade to something a little bit stronger. But yeah, that's a good question, Brian. Why exactly are they keeping him alive? Is if they truly want to create chaos, you would think killing Boyd would create that chaos indeed. We also got interface for $20. Wow, 20 from FaZe. Thank you so much, my friend. Pitching in towards the goal. Wow, salute right back to you as well, my friend. And thank you so much. That is incredibly, incredibly generous of you. And with that, we have officially passed our 5 super chat goal, which means I owe a slew of live call-in streams and Q&A streams that we are going to start doing right here on the channel starting next week. And I'm looking forward to it. It's been a little while since we've done a call-in stream. I've always meant to do more call-in streams, but they've always kind of just fallen short because I've always kind of just gotten a little too busy with other things. But now that From isn't on currently, and I do have a little bit more time before Severance starts, yes, we are definitely going to dive into these call-in streams. And thank each and every one of you for all of the support that you guys have shown the channel. You guys are absolute freaking rock stars. Without a doubt, the sexiest chat in all of YouTube. You guys are the freaking best. Cannot thank you enough. And I owe you a whoa.
Super chat on the live stream. So thank you, Internet Face. Yeah, man. We'll yeah, and we're going to be starting Sunday. We're going to be starting the rewatch parties for season 2. Kind of took the the mid holiday Sunday off. So yeah, next Sunday we'll be resuming the parties, starting with episodes 1 and 2. So a perfect time. And yeah, we could probably fit in some call-ins on the next Tuesday's show too, if you don't want to do it. If you want to do one prior, like Friday or Saturday. Yeah.
Absolutely, definitely. I am 100% down. We will definitely, we'll start the first one next week. Next Tuesday will be our first call-in show. And anybody who wants to hop on the panel and hang out with us for a little bit and dive into all things Fromville or whatever you guys want to dive into, the call-in streams are pretty wide open. Pretty much anything you guys want to talk about is on the table. So yeah, we will definitely kick off the first one next week. Thanks to each and every one of you tonight, and you as well, Internet Phase, my friend. Thank you. I very much appreciate you, and I hope you are enjoying your holiday season. And we got 5 from Ronnie Martin as well. Thank you so much, Ronnie. Very much appreciate you, and I very much appreciate this as well. Love this community. You guys are always friendly and welcoming, and that was the goal. I mean, I've been in many live stream chats as a fan myself. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a fan of From too. I'm a fan of tons of other shows that I frequented multiple live streams on. And yeah, you don't always get that welcoming feeling from some other channels out there. So that was one thing we always wanted to make sure that we were establishing very early on. We wanted this to be a place where everybody, at the very least, feels welcome and everybody feels free to kind of speak their mind. Whether you have criticisms for the show, whether you love the show, all is welcome here. And that was one thing we wanted to establish very early on, that people felt free to kind of speak their mind and comfortable here again. So I very much appreciate that. Thank you so much, Ronnie. That definitely means a lot to us because that is very much the vibe we try to cultivate here. So thank you. Thank you for the 5. And I owe you a whoa.
Yeah, and you guys know, I mean, if you guys have watched any of the, or checked out any of the watch parties, and on Discord the discussion afterwards, the call-in shows will be exactly like that. We'll just post a link in the chat, and you guys can come on and talk. Come and talk to us, ask us questions, challenge us. Let us know if there's something that's about the show that's been eating you, and you just want to get it out into the air, get it off your chest. You're more than welcome in all aspects. Even if it's like you just want to talk for 1 minute, if you want to stay longer, it's not a big deal. That's one thing that we really do foster is, making it comfortable for people, because everybody's had a first time doing it, and it is nerve wracking sometimes, but it doesn't need to be, not with us. So
yeah, everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome. Like you said, whether you want to just pop on for a few minutes and say hi, or whether you want to hop on and hang out with us for a little bit and dive into some From discussions. The link will be in the chat. Anybody and everybody will be welcome to hop on the panel and hang out with us for a little bit. So yeah, we look forward to that. We are going to definitely do our next call-in stream next week right here on the channel. And again, it's definitely something that we've been wanting to do for a while. I just never really got around to doing it because I've been super busy between From my personal life, work, and all of that. But now that we have a little bit more time on our hands, we are definitely going to be doing a lot more kind of fun activities like this and like the call-in shows. So thank you. Very much appreciate each and every one of you for the support. You guys really are awesome. Awesome. And I love seeing. I'm still way far behind on the cheat that I'm seeing in the chat. I'm still seeing all of these freaking peaches in the chat. Love it. Love seeing all the peaches for Bill D, who got that one right. All right, now let's continue this Fromville trivia, ladies and gentlemen, as we count down to the new year. It looks like we are less than 30 minutes away from New Year being here, at least on the East Coast. I know we have all these pesky freaking time zones that are all different, which is shitty. But at least here on the East Coast, we are 30 minutes away from it officially being a new year. All right, so here we go. Up next, what is Donna's last name? What is Donna's last name, ladies and gentlemen? This is another one that you don't get this information from any episode in the actual show, but you do get this answer from some of the extra material that they released during season 1. So this name, the answer is out there. It's just not on the actual show. And B. Morgan got it. Yes,
quick.
B. Morgan. That was very quick. Donna's last name is Rains. Yes, Donna Rains. Now, Catherine got a close one because Saunders is the actress's last name.
True.
Yeah, that's the actress's last name. So that, I definitely give you a half a point at least for that one, Catherine, because that's again, you're half right. But Donna, the character on the show, her last name is Rains. Yes. Awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. B. Morgan got it. Looks like BK got it as well. Awesome. And again, that was a little bit of a tougher one because that information isn't readily available in any episode. You actually have to look at the extra bonus material that they released during season 1, in particular, the missing posters. If you look at the missing posters, you can find extra answers and extra character development and backstories for some of these characters when sometimes they just don't have enough time to fit this information in an actual episode, but the information is still out there to find. But awesome stuff. Congratulations indeed to B. Morgan and to BK. Golly, just stick me in the box for monsters because I'm failing. Oh no, we're not going to do that. We are not going to. Nobody's getting put in the box tonight. I promise. It will be a box-free stream. You guys have my word on that. But congratulations to everybody who got it. Yeah, I'm with Tabby. I don't know. Again, that was a tougher one. That was definitely a tougher one for sure. But yeah, great stuff. All right, up next, let's see what we got. Where was Jade traveling to when he got stuck in Fromville? This is another one that the information is not available in the actual show, but it is available in the bonus material. Where was Jade traveling to when he got stuck in Fromville? Where was he heading? Now, this is correct. Yes, it is somewhere in Florida. Absolutely. I mean, we'll see if anybody gets it a little more specific. Where exactly in Florida was he heading? But it was Florida indeed. Bill D gets it. Dave Mills gets it. Forever Autumn gets it. Awesome stuff. There it is. BK got it. Miami. Yes. Miami was where Jade and Toby were heading. Of course, Jade had just gotten done selling his brilliant tech company for an obscene amount of money, as he puts it. And it looks like him and Toby were on their way down to Miami to celebrate their riches, when unfortunately they had a detour in Fromville. A detour that, unfortunately, is lasting a little bit long. But yes, awesome stuff. He was heading to Miami. He was actually heading from New York to Miami. That was Jade's destination. Bonus material, what does that mean? There is more show for me to consume. It's not actual show stuff, but during season 1, they released a bunch of those missing posters where you could see Jade. It would basically say the character of Jade missing for so long, and it would say under it, traveling from New York to Miami when he disappeared. And that's how you find out some of this backstory for some of these characters. Again, it's details that aren't in the actual episode, but it is available out there if you see some of the kind of bonus little materials that they end up releasing. Again, we wanted to have a good little mix of questions that are easy and questions that are a little bit harder, that it might be that people might have to dig a little bit for. But yes, during season 1, they released a whole slew of missing posters, and in those missing posters we got a lot of information from the characters' full names in terms of their first and last name, and also where they were traveling to and how long they've been missing for. That's basically all the information that was on the missing posters. And for Jade, he was traveling from New York to Miami with Toby when he disappeared. Awesome stuff. But everyone who got Florida, you guys got it as well. I definitely will accept that as an answer as well. But again, props to BK as well for nailing the Miami part as well.
Yeah, that's why he has all of his buttons unbuttoned, like the first 4 buttons. He's already in the Florida mindset.
Awesome. And it looks like we have some Floridians in the house, which is awesome. Welcome, my Floridians. Pensacola in the house, says Miss C. Hell yeah. Awesome.
20 minutes
Awesome.
away for you guys till your balls drop.
Ah, shit. Only 23 minutes. Man, what am I going to do? They're going to be gone. Great stuff. Yeah, great stuff. Yes, we are 23 minutes away from the new year here on the East Coast. Awesome stuff, guys. All right, let's dive into the next question, shall we? What was Tom the bartender's job in the real world? Now, sorry for the whole typo. Again, I typed these up 15 minutes before the stream, so you might see a typo or two, but bear with me. What was Tom the bartender's job in the real world? What was his job? There it is. I see some people are getting some of it. Professor, yes, but what was he a professor of? Sherry gets it. Sherry Ann has it. A philosophy professor. Yes, teacher. I'll also accept teacher and professor. I will also accept those as correct answers. But yes, specifically, he was a philosophy professor. Indeed. Forever Autumn gets it as well. Tom was a philosophy professor. B. Morgan gets it. USC psych professor, says BK, which is close enough. Absolutely. Awesome stuff. Yep, I'm still in the box, says Sue. I'm sorry, Sue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, PM philosophy is going to be so sad that she missed that. That's a gimme question for her.
I know. Yeah. Where's PM, the philosophy PM, and we need her. This one is tailor-made for her. Absolutely. PM, wherever you are, you're here in spirit, my friend. You are here in spirit. But yes,
there
Professor.
She is.
There she is, philosophy teacher. There we go. RPM got it. Yes, love it. Absolutely love it. Awesome stuff, guys. Yes, philosophy. Intro to philosophy specifically. That's as specific as it gets. Choose a channel name. Yes, an intro to philosophy is what is the exact dialogue even. So yes, great stuff, guys. Great stuff. Faye's got it as well. Mother of Dragons got it. Anissa got it. Steed got it. Shoes got it. Bill D sucks, according to him. Steed got it. PM got it. Awesome stuff, guys. And yes, USC. I promise my lips are sealed, PM. My lips are sealed. You will not see me snitching. I promise. I apparently need to more closely binge watch. Hey, again, we wanted to do a little mix. There are some easier questions sprinkled out in here as well that most of you should be able to get. But yeah, I wanted to throw some hard ones in there too, just in case. I know we do have some very, very smart and clever people that hang out in these chats, so we wanted to have some tough ones as well. But yeah, you guys are killing it. Overall, I must say, you guys are absolutely killing it tonight. Great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Jeremy will testify, man. I didn't get, there are a number of these that I didn't get. You just don't have it. When you don't know that it's going to be on the test, you don't store it in your memory and have it ready to go. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. And the worst is the stuff that that you've seen at one point or another. and it's just not, it's just not coming there. And then you're on the spot and it's like, oh no, they're gonna know I'm a fraud. I've never watched the show before.
Yep.
I'm just faking it.
No,
Fake it till
absolutely
you
not.
make it. Yeah.
You fake it till you make it, right? That is the motto, indeed. Indeed. Awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. All right, now let's see what we have next. What was the episode number and title of the Colony House Massacre? Which was the episode number and what was the title of that episode? The famous episode of the Colony House Massacre, and of course, the death of Father Cautry. Close, Bill D. Very close. Very close. Forever Autumn gets it. Episode 7
there.
in season 1, but we still need the title. What was the title?
Mrs. C with the Miss C with the assist. Yep.
All good things. There it is. Yes, Miss C. You got it. All good things is the name of the episode. And yes, Forever Autumn, you got the correct placement as well. Season 1, episode 7. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, it's not that easy. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes we
I
don't
like
even
that.
know. Yeah. If you've never heard, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, when I pull my seasons from the ether, I don't always get the copy that I have doesn't always have the titles. So it's like, ooh,
Yep.
shit. So yeah,
Yep.
these are tough questions. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Indeed.
If you
Some
know,
of
you
them are,
know. Yeah.
again, it's information that we've heard a million times, considering all the times we've probably collectively all watched these episodes, but it's these little details that you sometimes just don't automatically quickly retain off the top of your head. I mean, it's easy to forget some of these little things. Absolutely. So yeah, but no, great stuff, guys. Book 47 was actually the one right before episode 7. I believe season 1 episode 6 is actually book 47, the one previous, one prior. So that's close, FaZe. Very close. Very close indeed.
Yep. When Cautry was talking to Sarah about, when they had their little heart to heart, just the two of them down in the basement, which is another strange thing, man, because we always forget, because we you always mentioned, we got the bird's eye view of everything that's going on. But, sometimes, like with Cautry dead, all that information that Sarah had given him, that had convinced him so thoroughly that those voices were legit, all that went out the window. That's gone now. That died with him. And there was only 2 people in that conversation. So very, very strange. Yeah. It's just stuff to keep in mind, as we watch the rest of it. What does each person know? Yeah.
Yeah, and that really does it plays a factor, especially later on, and even more so in seasons 2 and 3, when you start to realize what character knows what and what character doesn't know what, and especially considering how it seems how infrequently they share information amongst each other. So yeah, those things, it's good to kind of keep those things in the back of your mind sometimes. You never know when we're going to bust out some weird, trippy trivia here on the channel, and you might need these useful facts. But yeah, awesome stuff. And again, the Colony House Massacre episode is definitely my favorite episode of From. Like, out of all of the episodes, out of all of the seasons, season 1, episode 7 is definitely my favorite episode. And it's not even for the Colony House Massacre. Like, that was fun. Don't get me wrong. It was very riveting, very kind of edge of your seat watching the Colony House Massacre happen. It was very, very cool. But the best part of that episode, for me anyway, man, such a powerful scene, wasn't it? And again, I love the Colony House Massacre part of that episode. It was very thrilling. It was, again, a riveting scene, but the way that episode was capped off, and just how beautifully written that scene was, and how incredibly well the acting was from Boyd and from Sean Majumder Cautry. It was such a touching scene to see Father Cautry see his path cut down before him, and how he doesn't let it break his faith. It was just a really good scene.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've said many a time, I loved how that, they'd given him aspirations. He had a plan. He had a path that, Boyd and him and we're going to take Sarah out. He had stuff to do when people, because when they've explained what they're going to do and we're watching it and watching them discuss and what they're planning to do, we're like, wow, yeah, I want to see I want to see what happens. I want to see how that pans out. To have it all pulled out immediately, just all so suddenly. And again, man, those monster scenes are always the best because it goes from the, camera panning back and forth and cutting to one guy talking, then the other guy talking. The whenever they film the monsters, uh any scene at the nighttime with the monsters, they get you in the moment, the urgency where you don't have time. Just like when they had Elgin driving the van, when after Ellis got stabbed, they get you in that moment. The it gets a lot tighter. You get less peripheral vision, and those scenes are so strong. And just exactly like what happened to Khatri. We were it was a lot tighter uh, on Khatri because we were in the moment, no peripheral vision, and that's how that monster got behind him. I mean, she must have been damn close too, because they had just offloaded the last of the people out of that van too. Yeah.
Yeah. And as Adorn points out, the monster said father so politely. It was super creepy, wasn't it? Like it did sound like it was just a regular human saying father, like I need help. And you can see, and when you break down that scene a little bit closer, it's very interesting because it's Father Cautrey's innate, reflex to always turn around and help somebody that gets him killed. Literally, he gets killed because his instinct is to help somebody. He hears his name, knowing that he's in danger. I mean, he knows that it's nighttime out. He knows the monsters are probably on the prowl. He knows the danger he is in just being outside. Yet he hears his name and he doesn't hesitate. He turns around to see if somebody needs help, and that's what gets him killed. Again, like it was just such a great scene, so well written, so well acted by everybody involved. And then when you break it down, you see it like just how deep that scene really is. It was just beautiful. Again, it was definitely the best scene that From has ever produced, in my opinion. And as much as I hate seeing Father Cautrey go, because he was such an interesting character, and I feel like he would have added a real lot to the show. So I'm glad they bring him back in some of these small capacities. We get these little Father Cautrey cameos, which is great. But Father Cautrey dying in Boyd's arms like that, it was a huge moment, not just for Cautrey, but for Boyd as well. That was a massive moment and a massive turning point for Boyd, where up until that point, he was very resistant to even entertain this whole notion of them having this greater destiny of going into the woods with Sarah, how it's all part of some plan. He was very resistant to it. But after Father Cautrey gets killed, it's almost like he carries out Father Cautrey's plan in honor of him, kind of thing. So it was just such a good scene on so many levels. Again, seeing that Father Cautrey gets killed just because he has that instinct to help others. And then after that, knowing that his path got cut short, I think is the best part. Knowing that, he was under this impression that God gave him this very important destiny, this important path that he was meant to tread. And then seeing it get cut down right before him, something like that would be more than enough to have probably a lot of people lose their faith, or at the very least shake their faith. It seemed like it only made his faith stronger in those last moments, where the last thing he says as he's bleeding out is, Boyd, pray with me. So it was just such a powerful scene on so many levels.
And Donna's happy ass. She was in the house. She was ready to pull the door shut. Yeah, she was in there. She was the one that pulled the door shut after Boyd got Cautrey in, but she was inside. She was ready to pull the door shut one way or the other. It's like, I see you, Donna. I see what you're doing.
Yeah. That was From writing and acting at its best. Like that's how good this show is capable of being. So that's why that's my favorite episode. Again, I love the Colony House Massacre part, but it's that Father Cautrey scene. That's the real, highlight of that episode, at least for me anyway. Great stuff.
Yeah, it's a great one. Yeah. I always love nighttime scenes. I always love monster scenes, but yeah, you're exactly right. That was so well put and such a surprise. Cause we'd already gotten all the blood we needed from the Colony House Massacre. We didn't expect one more, you know,
Right.
it caught us. It caught us off guard.
That's a good point. I mean, we're already surrounded by death in that episode. The last thing you're expecting is to see another main character get killed after seeing everybody get killed in Colony House. But again, that's what's so great about From, or at least that's what was so great about season 1 of From, is you just never knew what was coming around that corner. So I hold season 1 in very high esteemed. Great scene, really great scene, great stuff all around. All right, let's continue this, shall we, ladies and gents? Up next, we have another question, another quiz question. What was Jade's last name? Now, again, this is another piece of information that's not actually in any of the episodes, but this is another piece of that information that is in some of that bonus material. In particular, the missing persons posters that season 1 released. What exactly was Jade's last name? Let's see if anybody gets this. And yes, 7 minutes away now from it officially being New Year's here on the East Coast. There it is, BK. BK gets it. Jade Herrera. Yes, that is his last name. Very, very well done. Looks like Johnny Utah got it as well. Congratulations, Johnny. That is also correct. There it is. Jade's last name was Herrera.
He is an FBI agent.
Yes, indeed. Good job, Miss C, as well. Johnny Utah, Miss C, and BK. All correct. Awesome stuff, guys. And again, these are some of the questions that you got to dig a little bit for these ones. I mean, when it's not readily available in an actual episode, it definitely makes these questions a little bit tougher. But congratulations, nonetheless. Congratulations, guys and gals. Well done.
Yeah, not an easy
one.
Well
done. No, not an easy one. Not an easy one. This one is a little bit more on the easy side, but it was a fun one that I kind of just had to throw in. What was the name of Jasmine's victim? The 70s porn stash dude, as I call him. Mr. 70s porn stash dude that Jasmine convinces to open the window. What was his name? Yes, FaZe, that is correct. Kevin, Paul got it. Forever Autumn gets it. Sherry gets it. Miss C gets it. Lily gets it as well. I will accept that. Simp is absolutely an acceptable answer. Abso-freaking-lutely. We got BK gets it. B Morgan gets it. Awesome stuff. Incel get it.
Rick.
They fits. It fits. Kevin Catherine gets it. Cassie gets it. Awesome stuff, guys. Wow. Awesome stuff. Yeah, welcome into the box with people. It's mighty crazy, mighty cozy with the view. I am sorry, Sue. I promise, Sue. One of these questions, I have faith in you, Sue. One of these questions you are going to get right. And yes, Ronnie Martin, very thirsty indeed. Very thirsty. Kevin says, choose a channel name. Indeed. Yeah, his name is stupid. Desperate indeed. Very desperate. Sad and desperate. Poor Kevin. I kind of always just called him 70s porn stash dude. Personally, I feel like he just perfectly fits what he looks like, that stupid 70s porn stash. But yeah, 40-year-old virgin works as well. 40-year-old version also works indeed. And again, I mean, what is up with you, Kevin? What kind of person are you that you can't get laid in a place like Colony House? I mean, it seems to be pretty widely known that there's a lot of sex happening at Colony House. I mean, even Kenny, before he moves in there in season 3, specifically asked Donna, hey, are you still having those weird sex parties? I mean, if you can't get laid in a place like Colony House, man, I'm sorry for you, dude. I am sorry for you. The fact that you had to turn to the monsters for some good old loving. Poor Kevin. Poor Kevin.
A bouquet of weeds, leaving bouquets of weeds and whatever. Oh no, wildflowers. Yeah. They look like weeds to me. I got my allergies started acting up just looking at that bouquet of weeds. He did not
man,
charm
to be fair,
her.
we saw him smashing Colony House. Did we, Kevin?
No, somebody was. Somebody, he might have been laying in
Don't,
the hammock alongside of those two people that were banging
don't
in the
yeah, don't
chair.
tell me that was Kevin sitting on that couch, getting the ride of his life. Please tell me that was not Kevin. I hope not. Shit. I kind of almost want to go back and watch that scene to find out, but I really don't ever want to see that scene again ever at the same time. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to just let that one be. We will let that one be for now. All right, let's see what else we got. What did Fatima kill Tilly with? What exactly did Fatima use to kill Tilly? This is a little bit more of a recent one. I mean, we just saw this not too long ago, so this one should be maybe a little bit fresher in people's minds, might be a little bit of an easier one to get. What exactly did Fatima use to kill Tilly? There it is. I see a few of you got it in the chat already. B. Morgan got it with the garden shears. Yes. Cassie got it. Forever Autumn got it. Sherry, you got it as well. Catherine, you got it as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome stuff. Oh, awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Yeah, shears. Shears. Oops. I will accept that. I will accept that as well. SL Rose has it as well. Shears. Susan has it as well. Shears.
That quick turn, that quick turnaround. Yeah. Those guys, nobody in Fromville, man. Whenever you have a sharp implement, they always turn as fast as they can with the pointy side out. Dale did it. Yeah. Fatima did it. Sarah did it to Nathan. Man, they need to practice a little bit of blade safety. They need some lessons.
They got to get these blades out of freaking people's hands. Like, let's lock these blades up if we have to. Shit.
But what we need to do is check on the balls. It is time.
It is. It is. I don't know if you have a feed. If you have a feed ready, I can pull it up if you want.
Yeah, I'm looking on Twitter, but I don't have it.
Oh yeah, I imagine there's got to be one online here.
It's live ABC, but I literally don't have cable of any kind. Oh, I bet it's on YouTube. I bet there's one on YouTube.
Yeah, I bet it's on YouTube. I imagine there's a ball getting ready to drop somewhere on YouTube. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And after that, we have 1, 2, 3. Looks like there's about 4 or 5 questions left after we see this glorious ball drop in its place. Okay, but there we are, folks. We are less than 1 minute away from New Year's. There it is. It is officially New Year's Eve has passed, and the countdown, we'll do it. Even though we're a few seconds late, we will do the countdown anyway.
All right, party creeple, it's time to count down to the new fear with your old pal, the Crypt Keeper. Scare we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year's, Shark and Eve. Be sure to check under your bed tonight, kiddies, and I'll see you next fear.
Excellent, excellent.
There we have it, folks. It is officially the new year. Well, at least it is officially the new year here on the East Coast. It is officially 12:01, and I don't know if you guys can hear all that banging in the background, but somebody, I think must be my neighbor, is letting off a ton of fireworks right now. I can hear them going off like a freak. It sounds like a shootout, for crying out loud. So yeah, it looks like some people are celebrating on the street. Man, that's got to be my neighbor, my crazy fucking neighbor. That's got to be him. But there we go, folks. The new year is officially here, at least on the East Coast. It is officially 2025. And I have a feeling it is going to be a phenomenal 2025 for all of us. At least I very well hope it is a better 2025 than 2024. Even if your 2024 went phenomenal, I hope you have a better 2025. I cannot wait to see what this new year brings. I am super grateful for 2024, the ups and downs, the highs and the lows. And most importantly, I am super grateful for my friends, my family, and each and every one of you here in this chat, here on YouTube, in the Discord. I feel like I have met some of the coolest people in the world this year, right here in this little From community that we have built for ourselves. And again, I am eternally grateful to each and every one of you for all of the support you guys have shown us this year. And here's to 2025 being just as, if not even more epic than 2024 was. We got a lot of fun stuff planned this year, as Ravener and I talked about a little earlier. When we hit 30,000 subscribers, which we are getting super close to, we are going to be doing another giveaway here on the channel where you guys will have a chance to win some awesome From stuff. And I look forward to ringing in the new year and celebrating and seeing what 2025 has in store for us. And I guess I'll ask one more time, now that it is officially 2025. We heard from Ravener earlier, his New Year's resolution is to get in the gym a little bit more, start pumping a little bit of that iron, which is always a very good goal.
Get my beach body ready for the...
You got to get the beach bod ready, right? Shit. But what about you guys? Anybody who wants to share, that is. Nobody, if you don't want to share, that is totally fine. But anybody in the chat, if you guys do have some New Year's resolutions, sound off in the chat. Let me know what your New Year's resolutions are and what are you guys looking forward to in 2025. Let us know.
Any bad habits you want to kick? Any good habits you want to start? Anything. Yeah, let us know.
Nothing wrong with smoking a little crack every now and then.
Shit. Awesome stuff, guys. I have a reading goal of at least 10 books as for about now. That's a very good one to have, I must say. Getting a little bit more reading in is definitely one of my resolutions as well. I feel like I didn't do anywhere near as much reading in 2024 as I should have, and as I usually do. I usually do a ton of reading. If I don't read at least, probably 10 to 20 books a year, I feel like I didn't get my reading in. So that is definitely on my list as well, Forever Autumn. Diving into some awesome literature and making sure I get my reading back up to snuff. That is a good one.
Yeah, that is very good. And it wasn't when you guys started talking about the Man in Yellow or the King in Yellow. I bought that book just so I could be up to speed with you guys talking about it, and it reminded me kind of, because I buy books still. I'm a hoarder almost of books. Anything that sounds interesting. All kinds of history, all kinds, a lot of different topics I'll buy, but then I'll just, they'll just sit there for ages and I'll never get around to it. It kind of reminded me how much I enjoy almost like the zen of just settling in. And again, almost like when you binge watch a series, I have to square off a set of time where I know I'm not going to be interrupted. I'm not going to be fooling around with the phone. And I just set that time aside, and usually it's before I go to bed, and I can catch myself before I, when I know that I'm not absorbing the material, then I can put the book away and actually go to sleep. But it's such a great way to calm down. And after I finished The King in Yellow, then I started The Witcher again. I had all the 2 standalone books and then the 6-book series, I think, of The Witcher. And started the second standalone book. And again, it just kind of reminded me how well suited that whole thing was to being adapted to TV and how badly they botched it. But it's enjoyable, man. I love squaring off that little piece of time, right before bed, and just, sinking in and enjoying. And the next thing, might be, something from history. The thing I love in history is firsthand accounts, rather than just people telling you stuff. I love reading like diaries and like journal entries and different accounts that were contemporary to the time. And I can't remember. It's like Indian. It was one of the weirdest ones. I mean, I would not expect anybody to have this one, but it's called Indian Deportations in Texas. It's like, wow, but basically it's just the people in the 1850s and started probably in the 1840s up through probably the late 1800s, giving like accounts of being ambushed and attacked by Indians and stuff. And then like the sending out parties to chase them and stuff like that. But a lot of it is firsthand, and they use that flowery language and stuff. But it's super cool, and it's definitely a different perspective and something that you don't get to see every day. So I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's a super great recommendation. Reading 10 books.
Yeah.
And it's probably good for the soul too. Just calming people
It
and getting.
is.
It's good for me to put a friggin' screen down. Honestly, turn off Twitter for a minute.
Put a screen down, pick up a book. There's nothing wrong with that, and actually, there's actually a lot right with it. I mean, hey, chicken soup for the soul, as it were. Reading's always a good goal to have, and I definitely fell short in how much reading I usually do every year in 2024. So that's a really good one, Autumn. Reading 10 books, getting a full 10 books in a year is definitely a worthy goal. And I imagine you will definitely hit that goal if you set your mind to it, which I am sure you probably will. So that is a good one. And like I said, I'm borrowing yours a little bit as well. And that is definitely on my New Year's resolution list as well, to dive in and do more reading than I did in 2024. Cassie's not making any. Speaking of books, Steed says to finish my book. Well, that is awesome, Steed. If you're writing your own book, that is so awesome. Ravener and I, before we kind of dove into becoming, reviewing shows and all that stuff, we actually came from a comic book background. We know a lot of people who have worked at Marvel and DC, Image Comics, all the big stuff. And I'm seeing a lot of these guys, they have recently got into independent work, and they're all creating their own books, they're creating their own comics, they're writing, drawing them all themselves. And it's so awesome to see what some of these guys are doing. But if you're writing your own book, Steed, I very much look forward to reading it. Once you're done, once it's available for the public to buy, I am definitely going to read it, and I look forward to seeing what you're working on. That's awesome. That is awesome indeed. Get back to artistic expression, which is always a very worthy goal, no matter what the artistic expression is, whether it's writing, reading, I think painting, anything that you want. I mean, it's art. There's artistry can be found in so many different things out there. So that is a good one as well. Mine's to lose weight too, hit the gym. Awesome, Paul Smith. Yeah, similar to Ravener, he's getting ready to hit the gym a little bit more. So that is a very good and noble one to have indeed. Happy New Year from Toronto. Wishing all good health and happiness. Well, thank you so much for that, B. Morgan. And thank you so much for being an awesome member of the chat and of the Fromily fandom, my From Villains, as I call it. It's again, it's been a really fun year. I am super grateful for all of the awesome people that I've met this year, and I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. I've met some of the coolest people in the world right here in these chats. So thank you for that. Very much appreciate you, and I hope you're having a happy new year as well. Marijuana from BK. Hey, a goal is a goal. If marijuana is your goal, then by God, marijuana is your goal. It is legal after all, at least in most states. 'Tis I, Nikila the Hun, Miss Nikki the Panda. What is up, Nikki? Good to see you, my friend. And I was actually mentioning you the other night when we were talking about starting or continuing our From Rewatch party. We are actually going to continue our From Rewatch parties this Sunday, and we will be starting with Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2. And Nikki found something pretty interesting when she was rewatching Season 2, Episode 2 on her own. Something very interesting that is still very widely unexplained for most of us that have seen it and dissected it. It's really hard to know what Nikki found. But she found something incredibly interesting, something that was skulking in the woods behind Boyd, way off in the background. I mean, it's super easy for almost, I feel like 99% of the audience probably missed it the first time around. But we are definitely going to be diving into that for our season 2 rewatch, which is, again, continuing this Sunday. And we will finally be able to dive a little bit deeper and dissect this weird anomaly that Nikki has spotted in the background in season 2, episode 2, when Boyd is running in the woods. She finds something very peculiar in the background that some even think is a giant spider. It's really hard to tell what it is, but it is super intriguing nonetheless. And we're going to be diving into that again this Sunday when we continue our watch party. Awesome stuff. And yeah, painting, drawing, photography, interior decor, absolutely. All artistry. I love it. To be more spontaneous in life and love, that's a really good goal to have as well, Steed. I feel like that's a very, very healthy goal to have. I feel like everybody can be a little bit more open every once in a while and spontaneous. There's nothing wrong with being spontaneous and living in the moment every once in a while. Something I very much need to do a little bit more of myself. So that's a good one, Steed. Awesome stuff. Going to learn to make homemade lasagna, inspired by Jeremy's pro cooking example. Fireworks now noisy outside. Yes, Bill D. Love it. Anytime I see someone getting into the Italian cuisine, that will always put a smile on my face. Something I learned at a very young age. We got Jenna Porter, not letting others bring me down mentally and physically, and that is a great one. I feel like all of us could definitely have a little bit more than that. In today's world, you never know what you're going to get. You never know when you're going to run into some kind of asshole on the street or wherever or at work. And sometimes people can just get you down. So that is a very, very noble and worthy goal, I would say, Jenna, not letting people mentally or physically drag you down, being able to kind of brush it off and say, no, you're not going to screw my day up, asshole. I am going to have a good day. Fuck you. So that is a good one.
Definitely something to be said for taking the wheel and steering your own course without without regard for what others think or whether they approve or disapprove. Yeah, absolutely. A laudable goal. Yep.
Indeed. That's a good one. That is a good one. TV wise, I'm so excited for the new seasons of Severance and Yellow Jackets. Absolutely. Forever Autumn as well. 2 shows that we will be covering extensively here on the channel. And I'm looking forward to it. Again, at this point, Severance is probably the most requested show that we've gotten in history. Like in terms of all of the requests that we've gotten to cover a multitude of different shows, we've gotten more requests for Severance than anything else, like by far, and it's not even close. We have gotten so many requests for us to do some Severance content, and unfortunately, I was not able to do it in season 1, but I definitely am able to do it for season 2 now that I have a little bit more time on my hands. Now that From is over, we will definitely be diving headfirst into Severance season 2 this year. I will be doing episode reviews, live streams, the whole shebang. Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, once it gets closer, no doubt we'll have we'll do probably a catch up watch party kind of thing. It's coming. It's sooner. It's coming sooner than later. I act like we've got all this time, all the time 17. In the world. Yeah, well,
17 days.
Yeah.
17 days away.
But we'll get everybody up to speed on Severance, because that was one that some of them, like some people, sometimes there's suggestions and I'm like, yeah, it sounds good for you to do, not for me, but Severance is one that I will do.
Awesome. Well, that sounds good. Yeah, I'm totally down for I again, myself, I've only just recently watched Severance for the first time. I'd never even had a chance to watch season 1 last year when it came out. I was just way too busy, unfortunately. But I did sit down and watched season 1. Very much enjoyed it. I totally see why we've been getting so many requests for some Severance content. Definitely understand now why it's been so hyped, at least in our parts. It's a really good show. It's a good show, and it's a unique show.
It's a little bit of a slow burn. A little bit of a slow burn.
A little bit of a slow burn, but It's got good writing, it's got good acting, and just I love the atmosphere of just that office setting. I mean, it's never something I will ever want to work in. Don't get me wrong, but the setting and the tone of the show. It's interesting. Again, it's one of those shows that is unique. It's not something that you see on every other show, on every other channel. A lot of times you'll see shows that look incredibly identical to every other show that's on TV. Severance is one of those shows that is truly unique, though. It's kind of unlike anything I've ever seen before. It's a very interesting
Kept me wanting,
concept. So.
you keep wanting to know what is going to happen next. Yeah, it kept me coming back. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed it, and it finished stronger. I mean, it built up through the season. It actually got better the longer it went. I felt,
I feel the same. I feel like the finale is the best episode in that first season. Like, it just gets better and better and better as that season goes on. So yeah, 100% we are going to be doing some Severance content. And of course, Yellow Jackets when that comes back around. And of course, a whole slew of other shows that we're planning on doing and keeping the From content pumping while we wait for season 4 to come around as well. Awesome stuff, guys. And thank you so much. Happy New Year to you as well, Delson. And Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I know not everybody is on East Coast time. So for those of you that are Central or on the West Coast and it's not 100% New Year's yet, I still very much appreciate each and every one of you hanging out with us tonight and diving into some of the New Year's Eve festivities. And speaking of those festivities, let's finish this trivia, shall we? We got just a few questions left, and let's see how we are going to finish it all out. Who is going to take home the gold? Who's going to have the ultimate bragging rights on these final few questions? Let's see. Up next, we have, what was the number and title of the episode where Martin gave Boyd the worms? Oof, 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 oof. That sentence just sounds dirty. But what episode did Boyd catch the worms? What episode did Martin give Boyd the worms? The number of the episode, what season, what number, and what was...
My blood is your blood now, motherfucker.
And what was the title of the episode as well? We want not just the number. Again, we want to know what season it was, what episode it was, and what was the title of the episode as well. Season 2, episode 1, close, Nikki, very, very close. Very, very close indeed. Season 2, episode 1, also super close. Super close, guys. You're right there. You are right there. There it is. Season 2, episode 2 is the episode when Boyd contracts the worms. Now, again, at the end of episode 1 is when Boyd gets to the top of the well. But in episode 2 is when he actually gets the worms. So again, a little bit of a tricky one there, I know. But if anybody does remember, what was the title? What was the name of that episode? Season 2, episode 2. What was it called? Close, very close, Nikki. That was very, very close. Very, very close. You're one episode off. You're super close, though. Super close. What was the title? What was the name of that episode? Season 2, episode 2. What was the title? Come on, I know somebody's got to get it. There it is, Nikki, The Kindness of Strangers. Yes, that is it. You are correct. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Great job. Paul Smith gets it as well. The Kindness of Strangers. Yes. But Paul Smith at least admits cheated. Hey, I love it. I don't mind it. If everybody cheats every now and again, like Ravener said earlier, you fake it till you make it, right? But no, that's awesome. Hey, if you cheated a little bit, if you had to peek a little bit, nothing wrong with that. Again, this isn't, no one's going to the gulag here. I promise you that. But that is it. The Kindness of Strangers is the episode title. Well done. Well done, Nikki, and even well done for Paul, even though he cheated a little bit. Yeah, ooh, that question. Again, some of these questions are, they seem super simple on the surface, but then when you kind of have to start thinking about it again, it's like, oh shit, it's like that super like low tier information that we should know, but it's sometimes just hard to retain all of these things, especially when you're 30 episodes in, 3 episodes in, you have all these different titles in your head from all these different seasons. It's easy to get a little jumbled up. And that's what we counted on, to be honest, for tonight's trivia, to have these little kind of small answers be maybe a little tougher than they originally were. But that's a good one. Really good stuff. And congratulations for getting that one as well. The kindness of strangers. I gotta say, Martin was anything but kind, passing those freaking worms on to Boyd, though. I mean, I know it might be called the kindness of strangers, but should be called the violation of strangers, because Boyd got straight up violated in that scene.
Yeah. And then Martin just promptly dies.
Yeah, just promptly falls over, keels
See
over.
See ya, wouldn't want to be ya.
Yeah, later. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And of course, that was the episode that started off the whole mystery in terms of how the heck did Martin throw this rope down to Boyd if he was strapped to a freaking wall, the answer of which we finally got in season 3.
Wait! Julie,
How do you know my name?
he needs the rope.
Who is that?
Thank you.
Who's down there?
You need to leave. It isn't safe here. Go!
There we go. We get the answer. I gotta say, never in a million years would I have guessed that it was Julie who threw that freaking rope down to Boyd. Of all the characters on Fromville, she probably literally would have been my last guess. But
right, yeah, she's utterly useless up to that point.
she didn't have a lot to do. No, she didn't have a big story. Not a big part in the show. But I mean, you can argue that she has now, after season 3 has ended, she might arguably have one of the most important roles in the show going forward with her new story walker ability that she has discovered. So yeah, Julie went from, kind of inconsequential character to a pretty important character super fast. So I guess we'll see what is in store for Julie in season 3, in season 4.
They're definitely, that's something that's certainly going to happen is them fleshing out her abilities. What are the limits? What can she do? What can't she do? We've just seen they've barely scratched the surface on that. I mean, very much like the Man in Yellow. We got to see what his capabilities are. Does he have any limits? Yep. Again, they're just setting a whole new set of rules on us that we have to learn at the same rate that everybody else does in the show. All the characters are like, oh, okay, does this work? Does that work? Does it not work? We got to find out all this stuff, and they've got 2 seasons to do it in. So, yeah,
very true.
Strange.
Very true. Yeah, if they truly are planning on only 5 seasons, then yeah, I mean, they got 20 episodes at most to solve all of this, to wrap the rest of this story up. Tall task, very tall task with all of the stuff that is still left unanswered and all of the new mysteries we only just recently got in the season 3 finale. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they wrap this thing up if they truly are only doing 5 seasons, which again, it seems like that might be the plan.
Yeah, especially if they do that bullshit where they give you a 46-minute episode with 5 minutes of fluff in it, so you only get like 41 minutes.
Yeah,
it's not like 20 episodes ain't 20 hours. Not in Fromville.
No, not in Fromville. It would be nice to get some longer episodes in season 4. That would be pretty nice, absolutely. Especially like you said, once you take the credits and the intro into account, you're taking 4 to 6 minutes off the runtime right off the bat. So a 47-minute episode becomes, like you said, a 41-minute episode at that point. But we'll see. Hopefully we can get some longer ones in season 4. Yeah, Fromville is like Cheers. Everyone knows your name. That's a very good one. That is a very good one indeed. Choose your channel name. It's a little bit like Cheers. Yeah. And actually, in fun fact, my dad and I were actually in an episode of Cheers when I was a kid. I was actually in that show. I was very young, but my family was in the area where they were filming at the time, and we got picked out of the crowd to be in a scene. We were Tommy Two Heads. It was my dad with me on his shoulders. We were actually in an episode. I don't remember any of it, but I was told it happened. But yeah, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Great, great, great. All right, let's see what else we got. How many dates were on the wall in Tabitha's lighthouse dream, and what were the dates? That is the question. Here we go. How many dates were on the wall in Tabitha's lighthouse dream, and what were they? Now, this is a little bit of a tougher one. This is a little bit of not a lot of a tougher one in terms of knowing it just right off your head. I feel like people might get the first answer to this right in terms of how many dates there were, but what were the dates is going to be much more difficult. This is probably one of the toughest ones on the trivia tonight.
I figured one of the sleuths would have it, have them written down, but even then they'll have to check their notes because I don't expect anybody would have this just committed to memory.
This one is this was almost like the Kobayashi Maru of Fromville trivia questions. I kind of knew nobody would get this one, but I wanted to throw it in there just in case.
1864 is one, right? Because of the Civil War soldier. I remember 1933 was the latest
Sherry's
one.
close with 8. Sherry's super close with 8 in terms of how many dates there are. You're very close, Sherry. 8 is close, but not quite. 12 is close, but not as close. Not 12 either. How many dates?
Playing a range.
7 was close. 7 is very close, but not quite. Not quite. 12 is close, but a little bit too much. Lily, I will say this. One of those is right. Yes, one of those numbers is accurate in terms of how many dates there are. One of those is correct.
Pretty sure B.
And
Morgan's
Miss
got
C got it.
one of them.
Miss
9?
C. Yes, there are 9 dates on the wall in Tabitha's vision. 9 different dates. Now, I will be incredibly impressed if anybody actually guesses all of the dates. But 9 is correct, yes. And 1506 is one of them as well. B. Morgan is right on one account. 1506 is one of the dates. And yes, 1978 is another one of the dates. Indeed.
Oh, was it? Was it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, 1978, the 1978 massacre.
Oh, I didn't know it was on the lighthouse though. That's the thing. I thought it was interesting. Okay.
And I think that's what led a lot of people to believe that those numbers were dates and that they were maybe different time periods when people were stuck in Fromville. But yeah, that's it. Okay. 1978 is one. 1506 is another one. That is 2 out of the 9 down. But Miss C, you got the number correct. And Lily, you throw enough shit at the wall, something is going to stick. So you technically you got it right as well. But yeah, that's a tough one. I had a feeling that was going to be one that people weren't going to get. I had a feeling maybe people would guess how many were there, but in terms of actually knowing off the top of your head every single one of the 9 dates, that's tough. I mean, that's next to impossible. Again, I call this one the Kobayashi Maru of From trivia questions. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. But I will list them off. They are 1506, 1864, 1609, 1752, 1931, 1883, 1978, 1672, and 1773. Those are the 9 dates. Very tough one. Very tough one indeed. I was not expecting people to get it. But again, I figured I'd throw that one in there just in case. Just in case we have some photographic memory from fans in the chat. You never know. But well done. Well done. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. All right, let's see what else we got. I think we got like one or two more. Here we go. What was the name of the bus that arrived in season 2, episode 1? This one should be maybe a little bit easier, but what was the name on the front of the bus in season 2, episode 1? What was the name of the bus? You got this one right in the back before we started the stream. This was one of the ones you got right, Ravener.
Yep. And I know if we would have done the watch party, it would be fresh in everybody's mind. Because we would have seen it in season 2, episode 1. We'll all know this on Sunday. Yeah.
That's exactly why I threw this one in there. I figured, oh shit, we haven't done the season 2 rewatch yet. Let me throw this one in there because this one might be a little tough. This is part of it, Bill D. Bill D, you got part of it. Bill D got part of it. Miss C, you also got part of it. Close. Very close. Closer. Very close, Susan. Very close. You're missing one word. You are missing one word. Very close as well, Lily. You're missing one word in the end. It's Grand Rapids something, although something isn't the word. It is close. You guys are close. You guys are close. This question is fair, but I don't know it. Yeah, congrats, everyone. You're all posers. Nice. Yeah, Grand Rapids is close, but what is the name after Grand Rapids? There's one more word in that title. It is Grand Rapids what? Grand Rapids what? Let's see. Close, David Mills. Very close. Very, very close indeed. There it is. Bill D got it. Grand Rapids Runner. Yes, Bill D, that is the correct answer. Grand Rapids Runner. That is the name on the front of the bus in season 2, episode 1. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. That was a little bit of a tougher one because we haven't done the season 2 watch party yet. But I had a feeling people would get the Grand Rapids right. But the last word, that was the one that I had a feeling was going to be a little tough. Grand Rapids Runner. That is it. Yeah, deductive reasoning from Jeremy Sitz. There you go, Bill D. There you go. You got, sometimes you got to do some Batman sleuth detective work to get some of these right. Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff.
Hopefully this last one will build people's confidence and happiness. It's a little easier, I think.
This last one was kind of just a fun one to throw in there. And yes, we have been doing Fromville trivia tonight. Unfortunately, we are actually getting down to the last question right now. We had 21 Fromville trivia questions, and they have been an absolute blast to do tonight. And again, big shout out to everybody who got some of these answers right. I know some of these were very, very tough. Some of them were a little easy, but a good majority of these were pretty tough information that only diehard From fans would know. And it looks like we do indeed have some diehard From fans here in the chat because you guys got a good amount of these right. I gotta say, I'm impressed. I'm impressed at the number of questions that the chat got right. I was expecting maybe they get around a third right or so because there are some tough ones here, but it seems like you guys got well over half of these right. So well done, Chad. Well done indeed. You guys killed it this evening. What is up, Michael Bancroft? Good to see you, my friend. Happy New Year's, gang. Happy New Year's to you as well, my friend. I know our pal Michael Bancroft is down under in Australia, so you're actually celebrating your second New Year's, yesterday and today. So you got double duty, my friend. Welcome. It's good to see you. I hope you're having a good one. I hope you and Mel had a great 2024, and I hope you guys are going to have a phenomenal 2025 as well. It's always good to see you, my friend. And yeah, I'm going to reach out next week. I'd love to get you back on the channel at some point and hang out and catch up. But thank you for popping in. Yeah, twice the fun, right? That's, again, these Aussies, they got it good in some manners. They're in the future. Literally, they're in the future. So of course, Mike has celebrated not one but 2 New Year's. So that's great. That is great. I got to say, I'm a little envious. Little envious.
Yeah.
But welcome, man.
Yeah,
welcome,
24 minutes
welcome.
away from or 23 minutes away from yet another one, the Central Time Zone.
That is right. That is right indeed. We are at 12:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So here on the East Coast, it is already the new year. But yes, Central Standard Time, you guys are 23 minutes, less than 23 minutes away from the new year. Yeah, poor Sue. I'm so sorry, Sue. Excuse me while I spend January 1st binge watching because I'm a grasshopper here. No, you're absolutely awesome. Again, a lot of these questions were pretty difficult. I wanted to kind of challenge the chat a little bit and have some fun with these. So no, please do not feel bad for not getting all of them right. Again, there were some really tough ones in here for sure. Really tough one. I have the week off work, so I can definitely come. Oh, awesome, man! Awesome. All right, yeah, I'll hit you up tomorrow, and yeah, we'll set something up. That'd be awesome. That'd be a lot of fun. A lot of fun indeed. I don't think I've even talked to you yet about the From Season 3 finale. I'm sure by now you and Mel have seen it, but I don't think I've gotten your take on the Season 3 finale yet. So yeah, maybe we can discuss that this week, and I'll hit you up tomorrow. We'll set a day for sure. For sure. Yep, 23 minutes to the new year and my hubby's birthday. Oh, wow, New Year's and your husband's birthday. That is awesome. Wow, congratulations and happy birthday to your husband. That's wow, that's awesome. His birthday is on New Year's. That is pretty wild. Pretty wild indeed.
Never have to worry about forgetting it.
Very true. You never have to worry about forgetting the birthday. That's a very good point. Yes. Awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. Cassie's in California, so we're behind as usual. I know. I mean, these time zones suck, don't they? It'd be a lot easier if we were all just on the same time. Unfortunately, the sun has different plans. But yeah, it is. You guys are here in spirit, and even though it's not technically New Year's yet in Central Time or in the West Coast yet, I still very much appreciate each and every one of you celebrating this New Year's with us this evening. You guys absolutely rock. Absolutely rock. It's only 10:37 p.m. in Canada, a bit longer for us before the New Year, but I have lots of time to finish Squid Game. There you go, Nikki. That's the spirit. That is the spirit. Yeah, again, these pesky time zones. Yeah. Pesky time zones. May I story walk and peek at the answers next time? Hey, if you have the ability to story walk, then who the hell am I to say no to using it? By all means, use every arm at your disposal. Fake it till you make it. Story walk as much as you please. If it'll give you an edge on the next trivia round, then by all means, story walk away, Sue.
You can't change the questions. You can just view them. Right.
Yep. You can't change them, but you can look at them. Yeah. Indeed. All right. We are at the last one, guys. Here we go. This is the final trivia question of the night. The last one. And it's not a really crazy hard one, I feel. And it's one that might be a little fresher because we actually did see this referenced in the Season 3 finale, actually. But the final Fromville trivia question is, what was the name of the moving company we often see in background shots? Now, we talked a little bit about this in Season 3, where a lot of fans started noticing this moving company always in the background, whether it was on a box, a truck, or whatever the case. What was the name of the moving company? Yes, PM, you got it. Ren Des is the name. Yes, David Mills got it. Debbie got it. B. Morgan got it. See, I had a feeling that would be a little bit easier. Hell yes, guys, that is the answer. The Ren Des Moving Company. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. There it is. Rendez. Hell yes. Awesome stuff. Again, I had a feeling that one was going to be, I was kind of 50-50 on that one. I figured there's either going to be a few people that nail this one, or this is going to be one of those kind of details that maybe just slips through the crack. But of course, very impressive. You guys nailed it. PM was the first to get it in the chat. Congratulations, PM. You are the winner. Great stuff, guys. Great
Yeah. And
stuff.
it popped up multiple times too. It popped up on Henry's computer
Yeah.
when Tabby was in Camden. I think Donna had the calendar of it. Her calendar was a rendezvous calendar. So yeah, it's popped up a few times. It's good.
Yeah, and it was very interesting to see that, and I think we've wondered. I don't know if somebody looked it up or not, but we have wondered. I know we talked about it at least, if that was maybe like a local moving company that's maybe based, in the area where they film or something. Like, why are they throwing this in the background all the time? It can't just be random. It has to be a reference to something, a real moving company or something. It must be a reference to something specific. I get the feeling it's not just a random moving company that they're throwing in the background every once in a while. I think it's a wink and a nod to probably a real business, maybe.
Yeah, like how they put the Easter egg in Camden, the florist shop, the Audrey's florist shop with the little shop of horrors. Yeah,
exactly. The little shop of horrors. I forgot about that. Man, that would have been a good one to put on here. Shit, fuck, I forgot about that one. That would have been a great one to put on here. Yeah. But yeah, there it is, folks. There you have it. The Fromville trivia is complete. 21 questions down. And I got to say, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. I was definitely not expecting the chat to get this many right. Because again, I did try to stump you guys every once in a while. We purposely put some easier ones in, yes, but I definitely purposely put some hard ones in here because I wanted to see where exactly is the chat at. Where is the level of knowledge that this chat possesses? And I got to say, very impressed.
pretty high level, honestly. Yeah, pretty dedicated fans.
Yeah. You guys passed with flying colors. If I was handing out grades, this would probably be an A or at least a B plus for sure. I mean, you guys got a lot of these right. So that was great. Awesome stuff. Congratulations to each and every one of you. And unfortunately, we're probably not going to be able to get to the monster rankings tonight, but that is something we are definitely going to do on our next stream. I will be going live in a few days, and that we are going to dive in and rank each and every one of the From monsters. Let's pull this up here. I went in and I grabbed pictures of as many of the From monsters as I could, or at least the more prominent ones that we would at least recognize, that we've seen in multiple scenes. There are some monsters that are in just one scene and you never see them again. So I left some of those monsters out, but I did go and get as many monsters that I could remember that we have seen multiple times. The Smileys, the Grannies, the Waitress, the Milkmans, the Cowboys, the Headband Lady, the Librarian, the Mechanics, the Nurses, George R. Martin, Jasmine. Tried to get the more prominent ones, the ones that most of us would probably recognize. I don't know why I threw in the Magician. I imagine most people probably don't even know about the Magician. He's in like one super quick scene way in the background, but I just think he looks so freaking weird that I just kind of threw him in. But yeah, this is what we are going to do on our next live stream. We are going to dive in and we are going to rank from best to worst the monsters of Fromville, and we will find out once and for all who is everybody's favorite monster. And that's how we're going to do it. It's not going to be the best monster in terms of who's the strongest, who's got the biggest body count, who's killed, most people, yada, yada. We're going to do this from favorite to least favorite. So whatever monster is your favorite, whatever monster is your least favorite, that is how we are going to rank these. And I think this should be a lot of fun. And I'm very interested to see, at least majority-wise, who everybody thinks the favorite monster is. Will it be Smiley? Will it be Granny? Will it be the cowboy? Will it be Jasmine? Will it be the pretty nurse or the creepy nurse? Which will it be? Or will the bride come up from behind and steal the show from everybody? Or the freaking creepy magician? Or the kimono creature? Or the man in yellow? Or the weird ballerina? Who will be the favorite monster when all is said and done? I mean,
Yeah.
part of me wants to put my money on Smiley, but I almost feel like that's a little too obvious. Like Smiley's maybe a little too mainstream to be the favorite. I wouldn't be surprised if Smiley doesn't win this.
Yeah. Well, the I know that tier list thing. I was just messing around with it, like you were a little earlier, and I think there's a thing where you can once you can actually vote. So it'll be completely out of our hands. It'll be 100% in the chat's hands to decide who the
Yes.
winners are. So that would be, that's an ideal situation for us to, put it all in, to put all the power in your hands, in the hands of the chat to make those decisions. Yeah, maybe you'll surprise us. Maybe it'll be a landslide in one direction or another. I would be interested to see.
I think that's a good way to go. Let's just put the power completely in the hands of the chat. We'll let you guys decide. You guys can vote on which monsters are your favorite. You can put these monsters in your order that you think they are, from favorite to least favorite. And let's let the chat decide. We'll let the chat vote on this. And we will just be the facilitators, as it were. And like you said, I'm very interested to see which one of these monsters would win. I mean, obviously, again, you think of the Smileys, the Grannies, the more prominent ones, the cowboys, but as Delsenia says, the headband lady, I call her shopping mall lady. Maybe it'll be the headband lady. And that was the thing. Like when I was going through these, it was, some of these monsters are incredibly easy to name, like the milkman monster, cowboy monster, nurse monster, mechanic monster, yada, yada. But some of these monsters were a little tougher to name. And the headband lady was one of them. I was like, what do I name the headband monster lady? And that's literally the only thing I could think of was, okay, I'll just call her headband lady. Fuck it. So some of these monsters were a little tougher to name, although George R. R. Martin might be my favorite in terms of just pure names. Fucking George R. R. Martin, good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got the bride, we got the teacher, we got the male student, the female student. Those two were other ones that were really hard to name. I wasn't quite sure what to name these monsters, but they did kind of seem like high school students, maybe. At least this one definitely does. So yeah, it was a little tough to come up with some of these names. It wasn't as easy as Jasmine was for the rest of them, for sure. But that'll be fun. We will dive in, and of course, we had this new monster that I kind of wanted to just throw in that we know nothing about. We've never even seen this character before. This shifty-looking monster.
She was just
so
a
this will be fun.
spectator, just watching somebody be born. What kind of a creep is that?
Yeah.
No, not helping. I'm just watching. Get the fuck out of here. What the?
Yeah, Jasmine is my favorite. Hey, Jasmine was a heavy fan favorite. Again, like last night when we did our last night stream, or our Sunday night stream, we did a poll. We ran a poll in the chat, and we were asking everybody who was the prettiest monster in Fromville, and it came down to Jasmine and the new nurse monster. The new nurse monster, again, she's quite a looker, and I'm a little more partial to brunettes myself. So I went with the nurse monster, but I was in the minority. I lost handsomely, and the chat overwhelmingly thought Jasmine was the prettiest monster. I believe Jasmine won 65% of the vote, around there, to a measly 35% on the nurse. So Jasmine was the fan favorite in terms of the prettiest monster we have seen on the show. And you guys will have a chance to vote for Jasmine one more time when we rank all of these monsters from favorite to least favorite. You guys can pick any one you want. I do know the nurse is yours, Jeremy. I picked nurse number 2 in terms of the monster I thought was the prettiest. Now, if I'm talking about which monster is my favorite, that's a little different. It might be the nurse 1 in that regard. I mean, I loved how creepy this first nurse monster looked. I was really disappointed that when they recast her as in season 3, as pretty as nurse 2 is. Nurse One, again, she's just super fucking creepy looking. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I got to think on it. I got to think on it a little bit more in terms of which monster is my favorite. I know which one I think is the prettiest. The prettiest for me is definitely Nurse Number Two. But in terms of what is my favorite monster, I don't know. I got to think on that one a little bit longer. It might be Nurse Number One. I don't know. I don't know. What about you, Ravener? If you had to pick a favorite monster, who are you going with?
Oh man, I'm gonna go with Cowboy, to be honest.
Ooh, okay.
He was a talker. He was menacing. I think they underused him. He came out so strong in season 3 in episodes 1 and 2, and then it just kind of drifted away. But man, he had a lot of potential, and he's the guy that he'd almost like the Bond villain. He'd tell you what he's gonna do, and there's nothing you can do about it, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I liked him. Smiley had the silent menace with that creepy smile. He was great. His strongest, I thought, was in after the autopsy in Mariel's dream sequence. But nah, man, pound for pound, I think Cowboy got more mileage out of his few lines than probably most of them.
I think so. His dialogue was just really good, and he made a really good impact in terms of his entrance. Like the cowboy monster made a fucking entrance at the beginning of season 3. He definitely seemed like he was the ringleader of the whole ambush. He was kind of running the show. He was the only one talking. It definitely seemed like he was in control of that ambush. And he just has that swagger about him, whether it's the hat, whether it's the the rodeo belt buckle, the thumbs are always on the belt buckle. The dude's just got some swag to him. So yeah, the cowboy monster, I imagine, is going to be a heavy fan favorite when we vote on our favorite monsters later on in the week. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Cowboy Monster is going to rank up there pretty high, because he made a pretty interesting impression, pretty good impression in terms of how menacing he was, and the just again the overall swagger of him, I guess. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. There it is, guys. We are going to rank all of these bad Larrys. And since we had, I must say, I had a lot of fun doing the trivia tonight. And this is not only was this fun for New Year's, but it was also a little bit of a dry run to see how well trivia would run here on the channel. And I must say, for the most part, it was a resounding success in terms of how much fun we had, and how well the chat did as well. So this is definitely not going to be the last trivia night we do. We will definitely be doing some more From trivia nights. And maybe when we do hit that 30,000 subscriber mark and we do our giveaway, maybe we will attach some kind of trivia to the giveaway in some way, shape, or form. We will see. But if not, at the very least, we will definitely be doing some more trivia streams, because this was a blast. Again, I had a lot of fun tonight, and I thank everybody for participating in this trivia stream. We had some really great answers. You guys absolutely killed it, did way better than I thought. Again, I genuinely tried to stump the chat on a lot of these, and you guys rose to the challenge. I must say, you absolutely rose up and met that challenge. So huge respect to the chat. You guys killed it tonight. You passed the Kobayashi Maru, as it were. The unpassable test was passed by this awesome chat. And yeah, this will definitely not be our last From trivia night. We will definitely be doing more of these in the future.
Yeah, we may as well hang 5 more minutes. We may as well see the Central Time Zone folk into the new year.
We will. Yeah. Absolutely, we will. That is a very good idea, my friend. We are 5 minutes away, less than 5 minutes away now, from Central Standard Time hitting that new year mark. So yes, we will count down the next 5 minutes with the awesome chat, and we will leave at least with 2/3 of the country officially in the new year, even though
Yeah.
West Coast is a little bit behind. And again, these pesky time zones. What can you do? It sucks.
Yeah, I got a topic.
But again,
I thought we were gonna do Universal monsters, like favorite Universal monsters.
that was on
So,
the docket tonight too.
oh, okay, okay. Well, I
Just
didn't
didn't have
even
enough
know
time.
most of them because I mean it's been so long. I don't know if even in the chat if people remember them. There was the Wolfman, the
Uh-huh.
creature from Black Lagoon, the creature from the Black Lagoon, Invisible
Yep.
Man, Phantom of the Opera, Frankenstein with Bride of Frankenstein, Jekyll and Hyde.
Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, Hunchback of Notre Dame was one, Dracula, Daughter of Dracula, and Son of Dracula, and then the Mummy. So, you guys, do you have
Yep.
any? I was thinking, because I thought you always put me on the spot, and I never have them prepped. I never have an idea of what it
Gotta
is
keep you
my
on your
favorite.
toes, man.
I
I
like the
can't
Invisible
tell you
Man,
everything.
man. It's something
Is that your favorite?
I always thought about that. Like what it would be like to turn invisible and just be left alone. More so than like the creature in Black Lagoon. He was kind of weird. All the other ones, Frankenstein, Jekyll and Hyde, not so much. Dracula has been done. But yeah, I always liked the Invisible Man. Then then they had all the was it Laurel and Hardy meet? The Universal studios would have was it Laurel and Hardy or Abbott and Costello meet the Mummy and the Wolfman and all that. Those
Yeah,
are great,
yeah.
man. I love those.
Yeah, those are good. Those are definitely good. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with the classic Universal monsters, like ever. They're so iconic. There's a reason why they've stood the test of time, really. I mean, you look at how old some of these monsters are. They've been around forever, but they're
Yeah.
still some of the most popular characters in horror or just in general pop culture. They're still incredibly popular. And yeah, it's for a good reason. There's so many fucking classic, really good monsters here that you can kind of dive into, and it's no wonder why we still to this day, all of these decades later, we're still seeing Dracula movies come out. We're still seeing
Yeah.
Mummy movies come out. We're still seeing Frankenstein movies come out. It stood the test of time, and I imagine it will probably continue to stand the test of time for probably another century or more. Who knows? Maybe longer. They're
Yeah,
just very popular
Suzanne.
characters.
Yeah, Suzanne likes Frankenstein forever. Forever Autumn says Bride of Frankenstein, gotta support my girls. You get the skunk
Yes.
stripe in your hair, yeah, like the bride.
Yep. Love that one. Love Bride of Frankenstein. I may or may not have had a tiny crush on Bride of Frankenstein. May or may not have. May or may not have. Yeah, they're just so classic, man. It just you can never go wrong with these freaking classic monsters. It's again always fun. Actually, I'll pull these up. Let me pull this up here real quick. As we get closer and closer to the central New Year's time, we are 1 minute away, folks. Just 1 minute away from Central Time officially being in the new year. But here we have some of our classic monsters, and like you said, you can't go wrong with any one of these monsters, whether it's the creature. I mean, for me, it's always going to be Bela Lugosi's Dracula. That's always going to be my favorite personally. But I like them all. There's not a single one of these classic original Universal monsters that I don't like. They're all interesting in one way or another. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
What is the chat saying? Who's the chat's favorite monster? Which classic monsters do you guys like the best? And I'm glad you guys enjoyed trivia. This was really fun. Yeah, please give away Tilly's fanny pack. I'll tell you what, Forever Autumn, when we do the 30,000 subscriber giveaway, I will find a fanny pack to give away. That will be one of the items. We will randomly give away a fanny pack when we hit 30K subs. That I will, even if I have to find one online and order it, I will find myself a fanny pack, and that will be one of the prizes. Absolutely. You got it. You got it. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Yeah, the Blob. a very interesting monster indeed. Dracula for me, El Cucuo, and from Stephen King's The Outsider. Ooh, okay. Okay. Anyone remember The Blob? I remember The Blob. Absolutely. I actually loved The Blob as a kid. That was a movie that my sisters both really, really liked. So anytime it was on, they just had to watch it. And me by default would watch it as well, just by being there. It was a good movie. I had very fond memories of watching that creepy freaking blob just decimating people.
Oh my gosh.
Indeed. They made them into westerns like Jesse James versus Dracula. That stuff I'm not too much into myself. Like they came out with another one, if that one a few years ago, the whole Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. It's just I don't know. I feel like some genres are just not meant to mix, in my opinion. And again, some people might like that kind of thing, and that is totally cool. Everybody is more than welcome to like whatever they want. But when it comes to just me personally, I'm just not a big fan of meshing some of these genres. Abraham Lincoln fighting vampires it's just not my idea of a really fun horror story.
I think that was that was a time when they were doing stuff like Sharknado and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I think they were going for deliberately absurd
shock value.
Some
absurd,
of that stuff.
yeah.
It was just like, wow, it's so crazy. But yeah, I like the Three Stooges. Every once in a while when I'm on the when I'm going down the YouTube rabbit hole, I'll wander in and like watch an old Three Stooges versus a monster, and it's so corny, but that was the kind of stuff we grew up on, those pratfalls and just slapping people, and like Larry like Mo would pull Larry's hair, and I was like, man, how's that guy have any hair on his head left? Because he gets pulled every single time, and it was just so that old slapstick violence. You just laugh so much, and, you're not allowed to do it. So you never see anything like that these days.
Yeah.
But
never again. And it is true. I mean, filmmaking, Hollywood in general, has lost a little bit of the art form just by them not even being allowed to do some of those things nowadays that they were allowed to do back then. Like back in the day, people got hurt doing movies. People fought. People really punched each other. Like people really got into these things and really kind of wanted to sell the performance as best as they could, because back then you didn't have all of this technology where you could really hide a cheap horrible punch with a camera trick or an angle. You just didn't have that opportunity. You had to sell things a lot better. It was a lot more authentic. So people got hurt sometimes doing some of these movies. Yeah, people would really slap each other, really pull each other's hair, really kick each other. Like shit would really happen on some of these sets. And yeah, nowadays, forget about it. No, there's not a studio in the world that would allow that nowadays.
Oh no. Yeah,
Except for China, when it comes to Old Boy. The original Old Boy?
Mm-hmm.
That the director of the original Old Boy specifically paid, that one famous hallway fight scene where it's the one dude against all of those guys in the hallway. The director specifically paid some of the extras more money to beat up the main actor. They wanted that fight scene to be as authentic as they possibly could. So the director literally paid a few of the extras a little bit more money to inflict harm on this guy and actually connect with a few of their shots, because they wanted to make it as authentic as possible. And I gotta say, you look at the finished version, that guy gets his fucking ass kicked, like bad. He really gets his ass kicked, and a lot of that is real.
Oh my God.
Crazy. But other than that, you don't really see that stuff nowadays. But yeah, anyone who hasn't seen the original Old Boy, check it out. And as soon as you see that hallway fight scene, you'll know what I mean. And you'll be able to see like, holy shit, like this dude is really getting his ass beat. Yeah, you just can't do that with a lot of places won't do that nowadays though. But yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. Indeed. But here we are, 105 people. We are officially in the new year. So even though I am 5 minutes late, I will run down the countdown one more time.
All right, party creeple, it's time to count down to the new fear with your old pal, the Crypt Keeper. Scare we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, Shockany! Be sure to check under your bed tonight, kiddies, and I'll see you next
There we go,
Excellent.
Yes, we are officially in the new year here on the East Coast and in Central Standard Time. And pretty soon, and just less than 2 hours away, our West Coast people will also officially be in the new year. But again, I can't thank everybody enough for not just tonight. This was an absolute blast. Everybody who participated in the trivia, hung out in the stream, I cannot thank you all enough. But even more so, I can't thank you all for all of the support you guys have shown us all year, whether it was House of the Dragon you found the channel from, or Shogun, or From. I know at least most of us here found the channel through From, which is awesome. Can't thank each and every one of you enough. You guys, again, have been super supportive of everything we've done this year, and it means the world. It really does mean the world to us. And I am certainly going to endeavor to put forth some really fun content in 2025. We got some really awesome shows coming up that we're going to be diving into. Again, Severance Season 2 just around the corner. Yellow Jacket Season 3 just around the corner. We will definitely be keeping the From content coming as long as people want to talk about From. We will be doing some From stuff here on the channel as long as you guys want. Of course, we have some other spin-offs that we're looking forward to. The Night of the Seven Kingdoms will be airing this summer. Unfortunately, that got pushed back a little bit from spring to summer, which sucks, but that should also be a really good show. I'm actually hearing some really good things from behind the scenes of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, unlike House of the Dragon, unfortunately. But we got some really fun stuff that we're going to be diving into, again, here on the channel. Shogun Season 2, we'll definitely be keeping our eyes peeled for that. Cannot wait to dive into some more Shogun. And again, we're gonna have some fun. We got some fun stuff planned for 2025, and I look forward to diving into each and all of it. I look forward to diving into all of it with each and every one of you. Excuse me, got tongue-tied there a little bit. No, but again, big thank you to each and every one of you, and a big thank you to you as well, Ravener, for coming along with us on this wild and crazy ride. And I look forward to seeing what we can all get into together. What kind of shenanigans, what kind of trouble can we get into in 2025? Should be fun.
I had a blast tonight. You never know how these are going to go, but I think we were like 60 to 80. I don't know how many people we topped out at today, but I mean, if I went anywhere, I mean, just hanging out with 60 something friends, that's pretty good way to spend the new year. So yeah, and you guys were cracking me up. Your answers with the trivia, the right answers are great, and the wrong answers are great. So I really enjoyed tonight, and I have a lot of gratitude. Thank you guys in the chat. You guys are fantastic. I really appreciate you guys. It was a lot of fun. It truly was.
It was. Again, I absolutely had a blast tonight. The trivia went way better than I expected it to. Like, it's something I've always wanted to do here on the channel, and we've done trivia in the past for other topics, not for From before, but we have done it for some of the other shows, and from some of our other topics back in the day, we have done some trivia. And it's just always something I've wanted to do again. I feel like From is one of those shows where it's very well suited towards trivia, with all of the mystery and all of just the weird stuff that From throws at us. It's just one of those shows that just works very well for trivia, I feel. So this will definitely not be the last time we do some From trivia here on the channel. We will definitely be doing some more of this pretty soon. And of course, once we eventually hit that 30,000 subscriber mark, which we seem to be getting closer and closer to, we're inching our way closer to that 30K subscriber mark. And when that happens, we will definitely be doing another giveaway here on the channel. We will be giving away some more fun stuff. Maybe we'll do some more talismans or something along those lines, something From related probably. But either way, I look forward to celebrating that with each and every one of you and having a chance to give back to the chat just as a small thank you, a small token of our appreciation for all of the support you guys have shown us this year. Which, again, it really does mean the world to me to see all the support. I've met some of the coolest people in the world right here in this chat that I am super, super thankful for. So there it is, folks. 2024 is in the books. We are looking forward to 2025 now and all of the, again, craziness and shenanigans that it might bring forth. But we are going to close it down now. But I will be live again later on this week. Plus, our regular Saturday show will be going on as planned. And then this Sunday, we are continuing our From Complete rewatch with Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2. We are officially diving into Season 2 this Sunday for our From rewatch party. So I look forward to that. I look forward to seeing what kind of weird and crazy stuff we can discover during these rewatches. And that should be an absolute blast. But again, big thank you to each and every one of you. I hope everybody is staying safe and enjoying their holiday season out there with friends and family. But until next time, guys, again, stay safe out there in this crazy, crazy world. Stay warm for anybody who is in the colder climates like myself. And as always, don't be afraid to keep those tinfoil hats on. Dive into that rabbit hole. Have fun with it, ladies and gents. And until next time, we will see you on the next one.